All right, so
That's
we
funny.
got All Grip podcast number 11. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
I was thinking of an intro. I know you had an idea too, but I thought of something funny. We finally got Colby on the podcast.
Golf clap.
A man who has touched so many people in this gym.
Not enough.
I can't.
So, Colby is, a lot of people know him. He's kind of our go-to physical therapist around here.
Yes.
Been doing CrossFit for a long time. So to start out, before we do your big intro, we'll lead into kind of letting you tell like your life story and how you got into CrossFit and stuff like that. We always got a couple funny questions, right?
Yeah, I'm back.
So we got our would you rather. All right. So, would you rather be constantly sticky or constantly itchy?
Do I go first?
You can. Because you always overanalyze it, so it's probably better that you go first.
Yeah. I feel like in this heat already, I am constantly sticky. So I would rather be constantly sticky.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like having a 2-year-old son constantly sticky took me straight to like Spider-Man, like superpowers. So like I'm going sticky.
Hey, it's all about how you spin it.
I'm going sticky.
I think I'm going sticky. I wouldn't even have to use grips on the rig anymore.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna be locked in.
There's no
all day.
benefits to the itch.
Okay.
None.
No, just sitting there like this
But there
all
could
day.
be some stick.
Yeah.
There I can't.
So, yeah.
Okay,
Easy
I
answer.
like it.
All right. And the next one would be: would you rather be able to communicate in all languages or be able to communicate with animals
Animals.
Yeah.
all day?
Easy.
Because I don't
Yeah.
even like that many people.
I don't, yeah, like I
That
really don't
wouldn't
care what
change
people
my
are
life
saying.
at all.
No.
I mean,
No.
I'm not saying like.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to
going
anyone.
anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, traveling foreign, like going out the country, that'd be really nice. But
But it's so minimal compared to
yeah.
like the amount of animals I can talk to.
that's daily basis.
You could be like, remember Aquaman, and he could talk to all the fish and control.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I could take over the world if I could talk to animals.
I feel like my hunting hobby would get a little weird.
Be like calling him in. Hey,
Hey, come here.
hey, Billy, come here.
What's that Instagram that's like, what's your name? That's what that makes me
Yeah,
think
exactly.
of. Tony, yeah.
What? Tony. We can't finish it because we
Easy
can't.
answers
We got to
here.
try to not curse for the first 5 minutes. Then it's all good, all right?
That's how you're gonna take it down from YouTube.
Yeah, that's how we get taken down.
All right, and then I'll give you an option of this one, right? It's not written down. I got a good
Oh.
dirty joke.
Here we go.
It's not over the top, but I'll leave it up to you if you want me to tell it or not.
I'm go for it.
All right. What do a pizza delivery guy and a
jeez.
gynecologist have in common?
Oh, jeez. What?
They both can smell it, but they can't taste it.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, isn't that great?
Well, on that note, that ends the 11th podcast.
We will be shut down from here on out.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty funny.
See you guys in 3 years when the band lifts up.
In the band. Oh, that's great.
All right, let's go into Colby. I just want you to tell everybody about yourself, kind of your basics, and then we'll go into some questions.
Yeah. So I'm from here. I guess like where I grew up in Chesapeake is about 25 minutes from here. So born and raised there. Went to Hickory Elementary, middle, and high school.
Okay.
Went to college at a college not too far away, Christopher Newport. Played football there. Came back home to ODU for PT school. So like, and then where I work at is about in between there. So my bubble of life has been about 45 minutes for the last 30 years, which is ironic because I'm moving to Florida now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that's kind of like where I'm from and about me. And then as far as like getting into school, I guess we'll go start with that too.
Yeah.
So as far as how I became a PT, when I was in high school, I took like an athletic training class. Learned how to like tape ankles, a little bit of anatomy, like working with athletes, what that looks like. I thought that was interesting.
So were you working like with the trainers in high school?
Yeah. So like that actually one of our, actually she was a retired athletic trainer, taught the class. She, Miss Roll, she was awesome. Probably one of the best teachers I had in high school. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. So like the science classes were always the stuff I kind of gravitated towards in high school. So when I got to college, I was like, okay, medical something is in the realm of what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I went straight to the top. I want to be an orthopedic surgeon. That's like first year. I was like, let's just go to the
Yes.
freaking top. And then you're meeting with your guidance counselor, taking classes, and I'm playing college football as a freshman, and I'm like, oh, 15 years of school. Like, that sounds wild, but okay, we'll see.
I got time.
Yeah, I got time. I'll play football. Freshman year did not go how I thought it went. So
Really?
as far as like in high school, I went to class. I had to stay eligible for sports, if I paid attention, I could get A's and B's. Pretty easy on that. Didn't really study a lot. Then you go to college and you go to class like 1 or 2 times a week, and then we have a test in a month on like things you covered, but then also things you did not.
Yeah.
And I frequently would show up to class like, oh, there's a test today. I did not know such things. Oh yeah, it was bad. I wasn't ready for college.
Yeah,
I wasn't ready. Like I was playing
that's
football.
fair.
Yeah, like I was playing football. You know, like I thought school was really easy in high school and it would be the same, and it was not. So very quickly found out that is not how college is going to go. So freshman year goes iffy. I'm like, okay, got to reset a little bit. Sophomore year, I tear my bicep in my left elbow. In practice, I was tackling a guy, reached out, grabbed him, elbow pops. I'm in the training room the next day, like doing some elbow rehab, and the trainer's like, yeah, you don't have a bicep. And I'm like, no, like there's no way. Like I'm fine. Like it hurts, but it's not that bad. He's like, yeah, because it's detached. I'm like, cool.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, I've transferred now to a different school my sophomore year. So that was Christopher Newport, and so there's juniors, seniors ahead of me. I'm not playing much anyways, but I was getting a little bit of PT. So
where were you playing out when you popped the bicep tendon?
like position?
No. You said you transferred to CNU.
Yeah. So my freshman year, I was actually at UVA Wise, which is a Division II school.
Yeah.
That's where I went out of high school. Just didn't like the school. Wasn't doing very well.
Yeah.
Quickly found out UVA Wise was a program in transition where like we weren't going to win a lot of games over 4 years. High school was like that, and I wasn't trying to do that again. I wanted to win football games. Christopher Newport was a school that recruited me out of high school. They would lose 1 or 2 games a year, play for the conference championship every year. I was like, that sounds a lot more fun. This Division III, but don't care.
Yeah.
So I transferred in. Again, like so, had some seniors and juniors ahead of me, so I knew I wasn't going to play a lot. I played like 1 game on a torn bicep with like a big tape job, and like could barely move. And I'm like, this is stupid. So I stopped, talked to my head coach. Like, I'm gonna have surgery, and like I know my grades are an issue. Like, you know, is it okay if I take practice time to like get myself together in the academics? So I really just learned how to study. I went to the library, sat there with an elbow brace on, and like learned how to study my sophomore year and like what that meant. And like the big shift for me, and I tell people this a lot, is like when I made the switch in my head of like everything's a competition. I'm trying to beat people in class on a test score. That made it fun for me.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like people, you know, you get the test back and I'm like, oh, what'd you get? Like I wanted to beat every single person around me. Like, and when that happened, I was like, this is fun.
Some things never change.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's CrossFit, right? Like it's a leader. I was leaderboarding.
You found a purpose.
What a great way to do that, though. That's smart.
Because like I could care less about English, but like when it was beating, you know, Joe Blow next to me, I was like, hell yeah. So I went through that, and then as far as like what I wanted to do, I had that bicep surgery. You know, I met the orthopedic surgeon. We had a team doc, super cool dude. He did my surgery on a Friday at like 8:30 p.m. and I was like, I do not want to ever be working at 8:30 on a Friday. I got home at like midnight. And I was like, that sounds like a life that I do not want. So obviously I did physical therapy afterwards. So I have a pretty cliche, like I did PT, thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
PT is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of got into it. And then kind of switched my track a little bit of what classes needed to look like to get into PT school. Finished my time there, played football. Had a couple more surgeries because I'm built like glass.
Yeah.
Then went to ODU, finished PT school, and then I've been working for a small private practice since then.
Yeah. Because you work for Direct Performance.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So currently work for Direct Performance for another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I've worked there for 4 years. I have some new branding on that we can get into that.
Yeah,
for sure.
we'll get in that.
But yeah, so I mean, good company. Like I did some shadowing hours there my freshman year or for sophomore year of college with Brian, who was a PT there, and just saw how they did things physical therapy wise, and really loved it. So I had my eye on Direct Performance from probably 3 years prior to when I actually started working there. So they were like maybe a year or two into like being open. Did my last clinical rotation there, went right into working there, and I've been there for a little over 4 years. So,
what's your undergrad in?
Like major?
Yeah.
So it's actually biology.
Okay.
Super strange. Yeah. So like Christopher.
Isn't that pretty typical for like a pre-med type degree,
so it
right?
can be. So Christopher Newport unfortunately didn't offer kinesiology or exercise science, which is typically what you would do for PT school. Yeah, like med school, it's either like biology, psychology, chemistry, one of the sciences. Okay. When I say biology, that just means I took some like odd classes.
Right.
So I took some classes on like bugs and the environment and tree. Like there was a class we went into the forest and had to identify trees. Like for a semester. That was
into the forest.
Yeah, into the like when I say into the forest, like we drove 30 minutes from Christopher Newport, parked at some ranch, walked like a mile in the middle of nowhere, and the guy's like, "All right,
what do you see here?
Yeah, here's your sheets. Like find these trees." And we're like, okay.
That's
Can
crazy.
you look at trees still and be like, oh, that's an eastern oak or
so
whatever?
funny enough, at that time, I took that class and this taxidermy class, which was actually pretty cool. So at that time, I could identify trees. I can't do any of this anymore. And you could give me a jawbone of an animal, and I could tell you pretty close to what it is.
Really?
That's crazy.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
But it's one of those
But
things.
useless, kind of like.
But but when you stop doing that,
Fun party information.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What's his jawbone looking like? So like it's like a cool skill when you did, like when we did it. But then obviously, if you don't do that, you're gonna lose all that. So, but it was super interesting. We the teacher was, obviously the teacher for a class like that.
Interesting character.
Weird dude, but super interesting. And we made pelts for like our class project. So we made like a deer pelt. I totally wish I should have kept it.
That is cool.
Yeah, he asked us if we wanted to donate it to like things, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like donate to like less fortunate or something, whatever. But I wish I should have kept it because we made like probably like I made a 4x4 like blanket of a deer hide. It was pretty legit.
You know how
That is
savage
cool.
you would have looked like walking
Wearing
into the
that?
gym?
Yeah.
Or like when you podium at a comp, just put it on.
Dude, let me tell you
Have
how
like a
hard that
spear.
was though. That took months. to
Really?
do. Oh yeah, by hand. I'm
Yeah.
sure like there's a better way to do it.
I'm
We did
sure.
it like you did it probably 500 years ago. But it was pretty interesting.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So then you got how hard was it to get into ODU for PT school?
Yeah, so that was a one-shot, long arrow. Hope it
And was that
lands.
during the transition? Because you used to not have to have a doctorate to be a PT, right?
Yeah, so that started probably like 15, 20 years ago, where
Okay.
it started transitioning
So
to a doctorate.
before your
yeah.
time.
Oh,
All
for
right.
sure. Yeah. So there's like now currently there's not as many practicing doctors that are not doctors of physical therapy, but every now and then you'll see like a PT, but they got grandfathered in, so they could take like some additional classes and like
basically
kind of
verify their knowledge.
transfer it in,
Yeah.
because if you're gonna hire someone they're not a doctor of physical therapy, it's like so like some of those older people, they made that change. So so when I graduated Christopher Newport and applied, at this time I've had my first daughter. So like I'm not going to a PT school not in Hampton Roads. So
Right.
ODU.
Okay.
So it
ODU.
has to be here.
Yeah, so I applied to ODU and was like, if I don't get in, like I'm figuring it out. I'm gonna do something else.
Yeah.
I got waitlisted, and so I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing something else.
How many people do they let in a year?
40.
Okay.
Well, 40 on the dot, and I was number 41. So
Oh
I
God.
was one spot out. From
So what
getting
we do?
in.
Just go key someone's car?
Yeah,
Do we?
so this is the funny part though. So I'm 41, so basically someone has to back out for me to
Right.
like go in. The person that backed out, his name is Matty Matheson. He works at, or used to work at Direct Performance. So we started working together. This dude, I'll say MF or whatever. So he was
We're 5 minutes in.
accepted to ODU. Decided to go to VCU. Never told ODU that he didn't accept, like wasn't going to go there.
Oh,
So I'm sitting here
no.
for 3 months, like I guess I'm not getting in.
Yeah.
He's like
He's what?
he's
in
apply-
Richmond.
Yeah, he's going to VCU. He's already like got his books, going everything. And I'm just like, I guess I'm not going. And he calls ODU like last minute. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, like I'm not going there. So they call me like 3 weeks before classes start. It's like, hey, you're in. We're like,
Oh, we riding on yeah.
we're in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so like it's kind of a flex. I was the last person into my class.
That's crazy.
Yeah, being that 40th person. So
Hey,
yeah.
40's better than being 41
Oh yeah,
after all.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and not to hate on anybody, but like of those 40 people, I would not consider myself the last pick.
Right,
As far as
right.
like, yeah, there's probably like 3 or 4 people that are not active PTs anymore. So like, probably should have never gone to PT school.
Do they interview you during that time, or is
So-
it just all on paper?
Yeah, I'm
So
curious.
unfortunately not. So like 40 go in and about 800 people apply.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So like there's just no way to interview all those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, all three, because they got PT, dental hygiene,
I was gonna say because
nursing,
Pages, yeah.
and they have OTs there.
They have
right?
OT now.
Yeah.
I think each of those programs only allow
Very
like
selective.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, and I've talked
It's
like
strict.
when you get in there, I got really good with the professors. So 800 apply, but like 500 people off the bat are like trash. Like
Yeah.
you didn't have the grade point average.
Right.
You didn't have the GRE score. You didn't do shadowing out. Like you should not even apply. You didn't
Right.
read the list. So like I
Right.
say 100 people apply, probably like a couple hundred are legit.
Yeah.
And after that, they look at just like, who has the best GPA. You do write like a little paragraph of like why you're applying and such.
Right.
And they do read through
Did
those.
you have
but
like a mentor helping you get in there, or just the kind of the guide, somebody guiding you?
Yeah, so
Like,
the guidance counselor at CNU was great. And like she made sure everything was on point for that. And then you get like letters of recommendation. So like, having a letter of recommendation from, like a PT you've done shadowing hours with, my
Right.
anatomy teacher, like some of like the more like involved people,
Yeah.
are good. And I did have all those. So
Yeah.
like, it's just in school nowadays. there's kids that they just do really well in school. They can have that 4.0.
Yes.
And maybe
they're better students, but they're probably not better physical therapists.
Yeah. They might have no people skills.
They don't have the practical application.
Right.
Yeah, but they can freaking pass the test, man.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. Like, you know, I just went to my cousin's graduation in high school a couple weeks ago, and the valedictorian had a 5.2 GPA. I mean, that's just bonkers.
But, you know, honestly, that's excessive.
Oh, right.
Like, what are you doing?
So,
We don't need that.
Which was really cool about her, though, is she was also
Freaking try hard.
four-time state champion at Taekwondo.
Wow.
So
okay.
that was like, okay, like,
All
you
right,
do your
I'll give it
thing.
to you.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
That's sick.
That's pretty cool.
So, like, I mean, that's like grade point average is super tough now. Like, if you have a 3 something,
it starts to take away though, but what it really actually means.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
That's a little ridiculous, right?
No
Like,
doubt. Yeah, no doubt, for sure.
Because Paige had a counselor there or somebody, and then she had a list of things, and she did everything on that list.
Yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
And then she was literally like, "Dad, if I don't get in, I'm burning that building down." You know?
We'll go in together.
It's super tough, especially now with an interview, and especially at that age. It's like, you know, you got to think you're a young adult at that age. Like, there's so much growth that's going to happen looking back at like where I was at that point in my life. Like, it's tough too. That like we had people that apply that are like 30, have done some work, and like their responsibility and their like maturity is so much higher. Like, I get it. You're going to take that 32-year-old over me being 22 or whatever, because you know, like, they just have more life experience. They're going to be more mature. They're not going to miss class, like all the things.
Yeah.
So like, it's tough sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, they only take 40 because it definitely like makes sense from a classroom perspective and a cohort of people. So it's not like you're applying to like a four-year degree at 20 or 19 or whatever, where they'll take everyone.
Yeah.
Like these little
Right.
programs, like
Because
they're
they
going to take
want the
top.
money at that point.
Have you been to the new facility they built there at ODU?
No, I haven't.
It's
No, yeah.
freaking.
Yeah.
I've been there, you know, as
Really?
doing
For
Paige's
Paige?
clinicals.
Yeah.
That building is freaking
Yeah, I
beautiful.
mean, at this
it's
point-
like top of the
I
line
didn't
stuff.
realize
Yeah.
ODU was so like specific and limited in those kind of things.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously I'm not from here, so we moved here, and I was like, oh, it's just another school to me. Like, I had no idea that they were that selective.
Yeah, well, and ODU and Radford are good examples of like their 4-year degree school is like, you know, they're kind of known for being a party school.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like their graduate programs are
It's
like really
actually very
dialed,
good.
really dialed. Yeah, their PhD programs, stuff like that. So that's just, some schools are like that. You know, they're not a Clemson or a Tech where they're like everyone wants to go there.
Yeah.
As an undergrad, but like their post grad stuff is like where they really dial stuff in.
Yeah, because I
That's
think
good.
they're pretty well known for like engineering stuff
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like they
yeah.
got good
Really?
engineering programs. They got an
Nice.
MBA
Yeah.
program.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. A handful of guys that used to work with me in construction graduated from ODU.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I think a lot of people just don't know it because if you're not from here, like
Yeah,
you
it's,
said,
it's not a
or
school
even
that you
if
would
you're
know.
just if you're just driving through Norfolk,
Yeah.
you may not
Yeah.
even
You-
notice
I
there's a
agree.
college there because
I
it's like a
agree.
college popped up in the middle of
and
a
to go-
downtown area.
Yeah.
to that area of Norfolk too. Like, if you're
Yeah.
going to Norfolk, it's probably not there. Like, that's not where the nicer
Right, you're going,
restaurants
like,
are.
Yeah.
Like,
not
your
your
water
Kent
side and
area,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah, like that's just not where you're going down. And it's kind of tucked in there, so you're just not going to see it. Which is how some colleges is, but
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. That's right up the street from another university from Norfolk State.
Yeah,
So it's like really right up the
really.
street. So it's kind of
yeah,
crazy.
we have a lot of colleges in Hampton Roads, really.
I
Yeah.
didn't think
Yeah.
about that.
It
Actually,
really
do.
is.
The how long was PT school for you?
So PT school itself is a 3-year program, so it's kind
Okay.
of funky and just like Paige's. So like, you know, you get your 4-year degree. It really can be in anything, but there's prereqs, and then you go on to a 3-year doctoral program. So there's no PhD, there's no master's before it. It's a 3-year doctoral program. So it's 7 total, unless you take some high school classes early or college classes early.
Right.
You can get your 4-year degree in 3, and then it can be 6, but that's only if you're a smarty pants.
Yeah, if you're a try hard.
It sounds like you weren't a smarty pants for the first little bit.
I
so
definitely was like, I did it the hard way. So I graduated.
did it the fun way,
Yeah,
Colby.
I went an extra semester for 4-year degree, and then went right into PD school after that.
Yeah.
But that's because I transferred, and some of the stuff didn't transfer, so I had to retake some classes. But yeah.
How soon, once you were starting that PT program, did you realize, like, all right, I made a good choice. This is where I belong?
Yeah.
Oh, but even before, like as soon as I started doing shadowing hours, like at PT, like I knew this was like what I'd love. Like so, like I'd had so many surgeries at that point. Like I'd seen the other side of it, and like surgery is fantastic. Could be a whole podcast. Like surgery is fantastic, but like getting put back together is just like step one. Like what you do after that is what you're gonna get back to doing. So like I saw that myself. I saw it in other people shadowing, and I was like, I really like this. Now, PT school is really tough because when you get in there, like, there's so much base knowledge. You have to like anatomy, physiology, and cadaver lab is what you do first, and that's just you're learning every name of every muscle, of every attachment, of every bony prominence, all how everything works in the body. This vast amount of knowledge, and then you have a body on the table, and you're looking at it and seeing how it looks like, and you got to get through it. So like these people are not. The people that would obviously like volunteer to do this to let us use their bodies are not like super healthy people. So like you're cutting through a lot of tissue, hoping to find muscles that like are 2 cells thick.
That's crazy.
And like, I really wish it was in a different order. Like, you don't really have a lot of to me to do that now would be super cool, because, you know, I do dry needling, I do a lot of stuff. Like, how does that muscle look underneath the skin? You know, I have a good idea of how I look at it, you know, when I assess someone. But I feel like I'd have a lot more appreciation for that now, where when you're in PT school, you're just trying to get it done.
Right.
So you have to identify stuff. You got to like pin it. Like, this is the low trap. This is your bicep. You got to work through it. So it's just hours of day of dicing that thing up, and like
it's just rote memorization. You got to memorize all
you
these
got to
parts.
test every like week on it. It's very fast paced, and then you go into your fall semester and you go through the rest of the classes, and it's very front loaded. So it's like, you know, hits you in the face, and then as you kind of go through the 3 years, it kind of tapers down. Last year's pretty chill. Then you're doing more of your clinical stuff. So I mean, it's the good thing about PT school is if you try, you get into school, like, they're going to get you through the program. It's not like, you know, because at that point, grades don't matter. You can get C's and get through PT school, which is not what you want to do. But, like, you know, there's some classes that are just going to be harder than others. And if you don't, like, crush them like you had to do to get in there, it's okay. Like, at the end of the day, people skills, how you interact with people, the clinicals is absolutely the most important part. So, so at that point, you can kind of relax. But, yeah, I can have B's, and it's okay. I can get a C on a test and make up for the next one, and it's totally fine. So the stress is high for the actual school, but you don't have to look backwards.
Were there people in there you went to school with that like they knew their stuff and they could do it, but because of their personality, they weren't going to have good bedside manner? Oh,
for sure. Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some people that like you could tell right away that like they just didn't want to be there, which was really frustrating. But that's the really interesting thing about how PT works in America is like you're a generalist through the school, so you have to learn every form of physical therapy you're gonna do, and then when you graduate, you pick where you want to work. So like I would consider myself like a sports physical therapist, working with fit people and people that just want to be healthy and move. But like, you know, there's acute care PT, there's home health PT, there's, you know, skilled nursing physical therapy, there's home health physical therapy, there's wound care physical therapy, there's hand therapy. There's so many things, and to pass that national exam to get your license, you have to be able to answer questions on all of that.
How many questions was that test?
Ooh, I think it's 800. Wow. You get 4 hours.
Wow.
What?
So it's a little under a minute a question.
Wow.
I'd rather start a shotgun than take an 800 question test.
So there's 4 sections.
Construction wasn't that hard.
Yeah, so there's 4 sections of 200, and you're like, you know, your first 200 you get through, and you're like, send it. Next 200 you can't go back. So it's like little sections. You get a break.
That's stressful.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
But you know, like ideally you know it. It's just a.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, I'm sure in physical therapy were the questions like, they can't be, you know, opinion based. They have to be like, what is this tendon and how?
So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of categories of like raw memorization of like what the stuff's called, but a lot of the clinical questions. It's like, it's maybe not what I would actually do,
but what you have to answer.
But what's the safest way to do it? And how it works is there's 5 answer choices. 2 of them are pretty much right. One's better.
Right.
One of them is definitely wrong.
And that's what like Bridget would say about when she would take her nursing exam. She's like, I probably wouldn't treat it this way. However,
pause.
Dude, everyone, I know.
I think it's 3:15 on the bar.
Oh, we got it.
Brother, he is moving well.
Yeah, I love that.
He wins.
He wins.
You win.
I'm not blocking him, man. I want this to be on the
I'm
film.
looking right over your shoulder.
I'm talking about the camera, like my head's not like in the way.
I'm about to go look.
But yeah, so like the test is definitely hard, but it's one of those things where like we take so many practice exams leading up to that, you kind of figure out the test more than like what like raw memorization, because there's no way to know all that stuff. So it's more just like beating the test. You know, by doing the test over and over. And if you like when I studied for that test, I probably took over 2,000 practice questions.
Yeah.
There's only so much crap you can ask.
That's
so like
very true.
I'd be mid-test, but like I haven't heard this question, but there's something exactly like this, like somewhere in my head.
Yeah.
I know it's C because like I have a feeling. I don't even know if that's right, but like that's what my gut's telling me.
That's crazy.
So there's just like some ways to look at it like that, because like I can't be like I remember this on page 47. Like I'm not a raw like photographic memory kind of guy. So it was just practice.
Could you pass that test right now if you had to take it?
No, absolutely not. So because what I do is so specialized, and I would say any PT out of like 2 3s out of school, I would say absolutely not. No, there's no way.
Well,
there's
also
just so much
too,
you got to brain
you
dump.
said that you went through like you chose sports physical therapy, so all the stuff that like had to relate to anything else, you're probably like, I don't need this. Like, I need to get it out of my head.
I haven't looked at someone's blood work in 4 years.
Right.
Like, but in acute care, you look at it every day.
Yeah.
They're like people aren't coming into my clinic without issues. Now, do I still take like heart rate, blood pressure for some people that like I think are really important? Like I think there's a big need for that, because I've definitely called some people who are like, your blood pressure is really bad. When's the last time you've seen a doctor? They're like, I don't have one. I'm like, well you need one. Like, you're sitting at my table and your blood pressure is super high. Like, that's not okay.
That's crazy.
So
were
like,
they out of shape or just like?
Some people are. Some people like are indecent. Like, they exercise.
Yeah.
Maybe not like they're in a gym every day, but like there's just some red flags that happen. It's like, let me like look at your blood pressure. Yeah.
So it's an opportunity for you to hopefully help somebody in a different way.
Absolutely.
Like,
for sure. And that's like that's a big push of like why. So what direct access is a term PT of like, that basically means you can come see me. You don't need a primary care doctor referral. If you have insurance, you can walk in my door. I can see you right now. Like, if your elbow hurts or your neck hurts, like, that's what you should do. Don't go to your primary care doctor. They don't know orthopedics.
They don't know what to do.
They're too general. It's nothing against them. It's just what it is. So, you know, we can look at that. If it is something serious, hey, I have a favorite ortho doc. I think your elbow's jacked. Like, let's refer you there. Your primary care doctor is not going to have that referral. They don't have those great relationships. And if they do, it might be very sporadic, and you might just have a really good primary care doctor. Most people are going to have that. They're going to give you, hey, take Tylenol, ice it. You could have Googled that.
Right,
like, thanks.
right.
So, like, you know, like, but if you're, you know, your stomach's upset or you got some weird rash on your back, don't come see me either. So, like, I'm not going to say I can treat everything. Like, go to your primary care doctor. So, like, they're definitely, like, great at what they do, but in America, I think they definitely are using the wrong way of, like, orthopedics.
Yeah, and I was going to say, do you feel like, I feel like there's a misleading, like, character, not, like, personally, right, with physical or primary care, but, like, we've been taught to go to them for everything. So I feel like people, especially when people walk into the gym, right, like, sometimes I have to, like, you need to go see a physical therapist. So-and-so doesn't know how to help you, but it's such a hard, like, mindset to change for them to get them in your door.
Well, but to be fair, so, like, direct access in Virginia 4 years ago just started being like you could just go that. Before that,
you had to have a referral.
Well, before that it was 30 days I could see you, and then you had to have a referral. In some states it's you can't. You have to go to your primary care.
Do you know what
first.
the benefit? What was the thought process behind that? Like a referral?
So like,
to limit just randos.
Was it insurance based?
Well, so it really started with why we moved to a doctoral program is to, like, for that to make sense. So 20 years ago, they're like, hey, PTs shouldn't be the first person looking at your shoulder pain. Like, they need to be, like, handheld. Where our profession has just moved so much in the last 20-30 years to where, like, hey, like, no. Like, they've done studies on, like, you know, this guy has shoulder pain, orthopedic surgeon looks at it, PT looks at it, like, who does better job? And, like, we're just as good as an ortho surgeon in that aspect. So it's taken some time to move up to that. So yeah, that's fairly new. So, like, people that are 30 plus, like, I don't blame them, because that's kind of how they grew up, like, doing that.
Yeah, like the boomer era.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it was. Or medicine was how you treat that. Like, it wasn't, let's go do some exercises, let's do
that was the big push.
So let's do some soft tissue work, like, let's do some stuff. Yeah, it just wasn't how it works. Like, I mean, like, I've seen some people's parents, and they're, like, shocked at what we do in there. Or they'll show up in clothes
Bridget's
that are
mom.
like, like, they're like, my neck hurts, mom. Like, my neck's broke. I need to, like, no, like, let's just go get it looked at. And if it is that bad, like, I will tell you.
I will tell you.
Yeah. I mean, like, I had a guy come in a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, I'm sorry to tell you this, but, like, I think you tore your calf. And he thought it was, like, nothing serious. And I'm like, But
like, for me looking at it,
but he was a former patient. He knew at that point, hey, if I, like, hurt something, I'm going to see Colby, like, first. He'll tell me if something's bad happened. And unfortunately, I did have to tell him that. He went and saw an ortho, which was the guy that did my surgery, Dr. Stewart, fantastic ankle surgeon, shout out.
That's a good shout.
No,
I might need to write
put
that
me back together.
My Achilles has been hurting last week. I need to.
Oh my God, don't say that.
But he went and saw me. They did the picture and was like, yeah, you have a calf tear. Like, let's do rehab.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, the scary stuff was, like, off the board, and that took, like, one visit. Let's roll. So, you know, like, it can't be that simple. Where if you'd have gone to the primary care, they'd have gave him pain meds, waited out 6 weeks, go to PT, they may or may not have come to it. We're 8 weeks in, you're no better. Where you could have been better in 8 weeks.
And that's 2 months of your life.
Yeah, that's 2 months of your life.
Yeah, the whole process can be frustrating, and like for, like, my insurance, luckily, like, when I've gone to see Colby, I just sent a message, and my PCM is actually a PA. Which I love working with a PA. Because I just sent him a message, hey, this is what I want to do, and one of her nurses called, and they were both of them were on speaker talking to him. I'm like, hey, I already know where I want to go, and they're like, all right, you work that through the other part.
Yeah.
And they're like, cool, you don't need to come here then. You already know what it is. Go see your guy.
It's so funny that you say that too, because like I literally like it, and I don't know why. Like I worked in construction before the gym, and like people complain about hurting all the time, but I never once was like, you should go see a physical therapist.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me that like how many people will like quote unquote live in pain for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 months, years. And so it's crazy that you're like, yeah, that's 2 months of their life that they've been living in pain and they're no better to the solution.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, you go see your primary care and they might go like, my arm hurts, and they like poke a little bit, make you move it, but like they understand body parts, whereas I go see you, you're doing manipulations to see, you're like, all right, you start narrowing down that problem, and like with my elbow, he's like, I really don't think it's your elbow per se as much as I think it's your bicep or your tricep.
Right.
You know, your and I like my PA, she's like, I don't know that, I'm not an orthopedist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that whole process gets screwed up. I got a friend at work, he ended up, it was his meniscus that he tore, right? But he went through this like 6-week process of even trying to get an appointment. Now granted, he's working with the VA, and it's just a longer process.
Yeah.
And I'm not a physical therapist, but I've hurt myself enough and been around enough people that like I was like,
I can tell you.
And his daughter's in PA school, but I was like, did she move your knee around? Does it any slop? No. And I'm like, that sounds like when I tore my meniscus. And then it was like more weeks of trying to get a referral. And the funny thing is, he finally gets an MRI. And like he's like, hey, come look at this. Does this look like a tear? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a radiologist. So I'm like, Google. I'm like, Google it.
Close my eye.
So like, Dr. Google, and I'm like, I find a picture of a torn meniscus that matches his MRI. I'm like, I think you tore that outside of your meniscus, dude. He's like, you think
Chris is holding up the Google sheet and like,
well, we got like 3 multiple monitors. I'm like, I think you did, but I'm not sure. So then like the next week he finally gets in. He gets an MRI, or he's got that MRI. He gets the orthopedist appointment the other day, and they're like, all right, you're gonna have surgery next Wednesday. And it's like this whole process, but like, you know, they go through this whole thing where like you go to see your PCM, they give you a referral to physical therapy, and then it doesn't do, okay, well now we'll get imaging done.
Yeah.
I love that they do x-rays for soft tissue, and I'm like, that's not really.
No, so they do the x-ray because that costs, you know, $150
I
for
know
insurance.
it's about money.
Bang,
Yeah.
bang.
And it makes sense.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah, I get the money
Isn't that
thing.
crazy?
The insurance company doesn't want to spend however much it costs,
For an
$1,500 or
MRI,
$5,000, whatever it is for an MRI. So you want to go cheapest route possible.
Yeah.
Like if your engine's not running good in your car, I'm gonna change the spark plugs first and not change my engine.
Yeah, and for some things I definitely get it. But you know, like then there's so I had like a 12-week follow-up for my Achilles, and they started taking me back to the X-ray room.
You're like,
I'm like, what are we doing here? And they're like, oh, we're just like looking at it, like make sure. I'm like, make sure what? It's a tendon.
It's a tendon.
I
You
don't
don't need
know
this.
who you think you're talking to, but I know. I was like, get me out of this room.
I'm not doing this.
I was, you're not billing my insurance for another X-ray. Like you guys make so much money. Let me alone.
Trust me.
Yeah, before I got shoulder surgery, I started the process again before I retired. Like, all right, we're gonna do physical. I'm like, no. I was like, I work out all the time. I started showing them videos of like me doing stuff. I'm like, no.
I don't need this.
And the doctor was really cool. She's like, all right, well, here's the deal. Here's how it's gonna. I have to put it in, or they won't let us do the next step.
Right.
So she's like,
That's
we'll do
insurance,
30 days, go once a week, and then we'll kick this off. And I already had MRIs on the books, but then once I saw the orthopedist, it was literally like, all right, when can we do surgery?
Yeah.
You know, and then
Yeah.
I was fixed. So.
Right.
Which, speaking of surgery, and I asked you this question one time at one of my appointments. When do you determine? So say somebody comes to you. So what are your thoughts on about having surgery, and what makes you determine to like a client to say, hey, I think you need to get this fixed in a surgical way?
I mean, like, there's you know, the classic PT answer for everything is it depends, right? Like so, like, that's
Such is life.
That's the only correct answer. But like, yeah, so like for me, it depends on what you want to get back to. Like for instance, I've had guys that like, you know, for like a shoulder, he comes in, they have the MRI, the labrum's bad, the rotator cuff's bad. He's like, dude, I'm not having surgery. He's like, I'm doing PT. If it doesn't get fixed, I'll just quit CrossFit and I'll do something else.
Oh my
He's
God,
like,
are you not talking about Mark, are you?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, different guy. You don't know this
Is
guy.
it one of my
I
people?
was like, excuse
no, not one of
me.
your people. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have a conversation with Mark.
No. And he's like, and if it gets better, it gets better. I was like, well, dude, look, like, and this is like, I haven't touched him yet.
Right.
I'm like, look, like, the picture says one thing. I was like, but when you sit on this table and I go through some different things, I'll let you know how bad this looks. Like, if this looks really bad, like, I might tell you might need surgery, you know, because if it is that bad and you can get back to what you want to do in a year and you really want to do the thing,
then you
like,
should.
Let's do it. Like, dude, you're only like 40 something. Like, let's do this. Like, you're not that old. And for that guy instantly, like, for instance, I got him on the table, moving him around. I'm like, dude, you look pretty good. I was like, I feel good about this. I was like, but like, you have a lot of pain. Like, this is not going to be better in 3 weeks. He's like, I don't think it's going to be better at all. That's exactly what he told me. I was like,
really?
Okay, bet.
Okay.
So like, we worked with him for probably 4 or 5 months, but I mean, he got back to doing muscle ups, handstand, like everything.
Yeah.
Really?
But he was a very short list of people that was like, when you tell me to not do everything until you tell me to do anything, I will not do anything until you release me to do things.
We're not like that, are we, Chris?
Which is tough, but like, I mean, but he was in a lot of pain though, so like, it was a little easier for him to be like, I'm just gonna stop.
It hurts, yeah.
Yeah, he had no expectations. Like, when he came in that first day, he was like, you know, I'm probably gonna stop doing CrossFit, my bodybuilding, I'm just gonna work legs, but he had no expectations. So like, he had like been referred to my friend.
He was ready to turn it 180.
Yeah. And like, I ask people that a lot too, like, you know, what are your goals? They're like, well, you know, if I don't ever get back to this, I don't care. I'm like, you said it out loud, that means you care.
Yeah,
you just told me what your goal is. Yeah. And then there's some obvious things, like, you know, I've had a guy walk in where like, I've looked at his elbow and his bicep was completely ruptured. I'm like, yeah, you need surgery. Like, there's we can't rehab this. Those are pretty far and few in between for us, because like the direct access thing, like, unless you're a prior patient, a husband, a daughter, whatever of us, like, you probably aren't going to us for something like that. You're going to the ER, you know, something like that.
Right.
So there's probably been less than 6 times where I'm like, first day, I'm like, I'm not even charging for this. This is 10 minutes. Like, this was a 10-minute eval.
You need
like,
surgery.
Like, yeah, we're done. But you know, for us, most people, like, very broad answer would say 8 to 12 weeks PT. If we don't make any progress, like, let's look at something, whether that's a back, shoulder, elbow, whether knee, whatever. You know, with the knee, if it's like a bucket handle meniscus tear, you're catching, locking, we can't get it better, let's go get that thing trimmed up, you'll be fine. Because some things are a pretty quick recovery. If your ACL's torn though, which sounds like instant surgery,
it's not going to reattach itself.
Well, it depends though. Like, you know, like, do you want to just like exercise, walk your dog, or do you want to pivot, cut, like run with your kids, like lift weights? Like, those are very 2 different things. Like Jack as a PT at one of our other clinics, he tore his ACL in PT school. He didn't get it repaired. He squats, he does bodybuilding stuff, like, he exercises. Now, if he wanted to go play pickup basketball, I would worry.
When the floor shakes, when the weights drop, it scares me.
Sorry, Colby.
I know. I wonder, it's like, can I get on that side?
Yeah. We'll tell you next time.
But yeah, it's like, is surgery done way too much? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I totally get it, because they go to that ortho, they say, hey, look at this scary picture, we got to fix that. And that's what orthos do. They look at scary pictures and they fix that.
Yeah.
They don't look at someone's, like, what do they want to do? What is their lifestyle? Like, you know, oh, the person like eats like crap, doesn't sleep, super high stress, single mom, has all the things. Like, can we clean some of that up? And how much does this pain get better? Can they live with some of this? Like, they just aren't having those conversations, and they're not skilled in that manner. They don't look into that, and they don't have the time.
It's so funny that you say that, because like, I just had to take Peyton to a surgeon, like a surgeon for dogs, because his meniscus is torn, completely gone. And it's so, like, his bedside manner was terrible, right? Like, they almost don't even need to, like, they think they don't need to ask those questions.
No,
they're like,
not at all.
They're like, if you're here, you're getting surgery, kind of thing. And I was just so like dumbfounded as he's like, and he didn't know like I do CrossFit or I have friends like you that are very knowledgeable. Like, he's like talking to me through tendons and how they work and like how the dogs operate, and I'm like I know what you're saying to me, like, and it's blowing my mind that you're telling me like he needs to do X, Y, and Z, or he's going to have to basically lay down for the next 3 years. Like, it was crazy, and he did not care. At all about like, what are you trying to do to fix it? What are you doing this? How long has this been going on? Like, nothing. He's just like, I can get you scheduled for surgery in about 3 weeks time. It'll take 8 weeks recovery, and here's what's going to happen. It was crazy to me, and that's how they treat people too. Like.
But in their defense, however, though, like, orthopedic surgery, for the amount of people they see that are in a bad place, you have to make like a mental, like, emotional disconnection, or it'll fuck you up. Which is tough too, because like, there's definitely some people that I will see. We sit there and talk for 60 minutes. We're like, they're crying. Like, that's just what we're going through. I mean, like, that's where they're at. Like, there's no exercise, no stretch that's going to help you as much as like, let's just talk about it. And that's something that we do have the time for. So like, I am not calling myself a therapist, but like, in some ways, like, I have a psychology minor, but like that sometimes is the best thing we can offer someone in that day.
At that moment.
because that's just where
That
where
makes
they're
sense,
at.
though.
It does make sense.
That's happened to us as coaches.
I was gonna say, at
Like,
the
I've
gym
been
it's the
here
same thing,
another 30
right?
minutes
Yeah.
after class, and somebody's just
And like somebody just
they're
freaking
just dumping on me, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? This person needs a few minutes.
Oh, for sure.
I'll just,
And honestly,
just,
like,
yeah.
if you trust me enough, or if you don't trust me enough, and I'm just the person you saw that day. That's
maybe I'm
100%.
making your day better.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. I mean,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I was just talking to a girl this week. Like, she's in this had back pain for years. You know, husband's deployed all the time, and she's got like 4 kids. Like, just going through it, and she's been through a lot of like pain management, which is AKA medicine. And they're telling her, like, I think they told her last time they were in there, like, hey, like, we're kind of running out of options for how we can help you. And at no point have they told this lady, like, it's okay to like exercise, it's okay to walk, it's okay to like try to be healthy, like, not even once.
That's crazy.
And like, we've had those conversations, and
Right.
you know, like, I told her, I was like, I'm on your team, and she literally just like bawled after that. It was like no one has ever said like
can't
that's
handle that.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
that's what I need,
Isn't it
like
crazy
she has no
though?
one else.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's
Yeah.
got some old school doctors like back in the day. If
Oh,
you had
for
a
sure.
knee
Well,
surgery, it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
don't move for 6 weeks.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Now,
for sure.
like
Yes.
my mom's had both her knees replaced, right? And she could not go. She went home the same day.
Yep.
And she couldn't go home until she walked down the hallway.
Yep.
Now, granted, she said it's more like I'm hobbling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
still,
yeah.
still.
And then she goes home, gets a certain amount of weeks
Yeah.
of all right,
right.
Colby, pause. You gotta look.
What is that? Like 350?
I don't know.
You guys are looking.
He's got reds on. So that would be 275.
I don't know
Plus
what the yellows.
275 plus
The
No,
another
that's,
yellows.
60.
that's over 3.
That's yeah, oh for sure. My guy,
fucking
let's
go.
Dude, I'm enjoying this. This is great.
How much is that?
This is just another day in the office.
Because the red makes the yellow a blue. So we're like,
if those were blues.
Hold on, let me just do
and
the
green.
math.
Yeah.
It's 2 55s on one side. 55 plus 55 plus 35
Seven.
plus a 10 and
and a 5
a 5
plus the barbell.
times 2. 320 plus
Yeah, it's like
45.
not 350. Oh yeah,
365.
dude. Why is he not at nationals right now?
I don't know.
He's probably a little
Does he
heavy.
need a sponsor?
He's only
Nutrition
missed,
coach?
He's only missed one lift. He missed one lift. He came back, hit it again, fine, and then he's going up. He's going up.
So the crazy part is he probably weighs every bit of like 250.
Oh.
So he needs to snatch like low 4s. To be like, I mean, to be like
to be competitive.
To be like,
yeah. That's wild.
Yeah, like clean and jerk, like upper 4s.
Okay.
But he might
Can we
be-
get off
he
topic
might
for a
be-
hot second?
Yeah, he
Remember
might be
that
up
thing
there.
I sent you last night? That little dude in the.
Oh
in
yeah,
the-
so that's our best USA weightlifter.
that is insane.
Gosh, what's his name again?
I have no clue. He looks like
So he won-
Pee Wee
he won,
Kermit the Frog.
He won bronze at the Olympics.
Oh, you're talking about
bronze? That was bronze.
when my son went to nationals. My son talked to him.
He
He
has,
got
like,
to
the
meet him.
shaggy hair,
His little
Gosh, I
guy.
can't remember his
yeah.
name. Yeah, so he won
He
bronze at the
weighs
Olympics.
as much as me, okay? And he clean and jerked 415.
He's a little dude too. When I met
Yeah.
him, he's maybe 5'3", 5'4".
Yeah, he's a small
Yeah.
guy.
And
yeah.
when he's just, I had like went like, hey, good job, buddy. And I left
yeah.
because my son was talking to him. Yes, it was like touching wood or concrete. I was
Really?
like,
Yeah,
I turned around. I was like, good
Yeah.
God.
I can't. I mean, it blew my mind.
Yeah, so he was the first time a man has medaled for weightlifting in like forever for us.
Really?
Yeah, but then Olivia Reed's got gold, so
Hey,
she's
she also probably has 20 pounds on
but
that kid.
But
Because he broke the world record at, I think, the Pan Am Games down in South America somewhere.
He did.
He did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he broke the world record for, I think, clean and jerk. Something like that. He
yeah.
broke one of the records.
Something.
I am
Yeah.
blown away that like what we sent last night wasn't like a world record.
No,
That's
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
I
But he's our best USA weightlifter and probably in our lifetime.
Really?
As far as like
I sent
how
this
he
to our group
performs.
chat on Instagram, and I was like, all this says to me is that I should be able to clean and jerk 415.
Right.
Ooh, yeah,
Only got
something
200
like that. Something like
pounds
that.
to go.
Yeah, that's so impressive, and like that's a whole topic there. But like USA weightlifting compared to other countries, for us to thrive like that is
Yeah.
so impressive.
Really?
Because that guy, like, he's getting $3 to his name from sponsorship.
Touche,
Like, so
yeah.
I don't know how he's affording us to live. But
Whereas like
he's
China's putting them
grinding.
in the grinder
Yeah.
from age 6
Yeah.
until.
Oh, I mean, communism has some pluses.
You know,
But yeah, their motivation
when
is,
we look at it like that,
hey,
I mean,
if you don't medal, your whole family dies.
Go lift.
Yeah.
you better hit that lift.
Yeah, I mean, so I took my USA level 1, and the guy really went through like how USA weightlifting does things, how other country does things, and when you compare them, it's like, oh, that makes sense.
That's crazy.
So like, It's wild. I mean, they will literally take like kids out of school
Yeah,
at 9.
yeah.
Like, oh, you can broad jump this. Like your back musculature is like
It's
already
built
kind of
this way,
developed. Yeah,
yeah.
Like your overhead mobility's there. Like, yeah, you're going to weightlifting school.
I would have never made it. I was a fat kid. They'd have been like, take her to the
Go
fields.
to class.
Weightlifting is the sport that I wish they would put in schools.
I really do. Like, I tell you what, now that we're on this topic.
Olympic
Some have
weightlifting.
clubs though. Some of them have
Some
clubs.
people have clubs. Like, it bothers me so much.
think
There's like a
Kinston?
misconception about like kids weightlifting because like the awareness, or even gymnastics, right? Weightlifting
Yeah,
and
gymnastics
gymnastics
is a
are
big
two
one.
great sports of just like
Transition
body
to everything.
awareness. Like, will make you a better athlete for anything that you do. Anything that you do.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here we go again.
Okay. I don't want to stare.
He went up 5, so he's like probably 350.
Maybe we get hired to be the announcers at the next
Hey,
Olympics.
I tell you
For
what.
for weightlifting.
Yeah, we'll be like Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Let's go.
I'm just pumped, man.
He's so chill about it too.
I know.
I
I'm
mean,
like,
something about Colby's, you know.
I can't.
I'm
my gosh.
I'm not built like that.
So back to surgery. I got a question.
yeah.
Do you think
Keep the
do
train
you
on the
think
tracks.
surgeries can become addictive to people? Like they think automatically.
Oh, because
you
of
know
an instant
what?
fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I have plenty of examples of people that like, well, I wouldn't say addicted, but when they see that picture, they're like, I need to be fixed.
Right.
What they don't realize, and I'd say this, I was like, dude, if we go out here and MRI every single guy in this gym right now, you know how many rotator cuff tears are out there right now, and they're lifting
Yeah.
pain-free?
Mm-hmm.
Like they've done studies of like, to take 1,000 people, no one has pain, you know, some have pain, half of them have pain, half of them don't. MRI everybody who has rotator cuff stuff, who has labral stuff. There's so many people that have no pain, no dysfunction with stuff. Especially when then there's good studies of like disc herniation's a big one too. They see that disc herniation in their back, they're like, I need surgery, I cannot deadlift, I cannot lift. Over the age of 30, 40, 50, the percentage of you having a disc herniation is so high. Like I guarantee between the 3 of us right now, we got at least 2. Like
Really?
like odds are,
Right,
we're all over
odds, yeah.
30. Like odds are, like
I have 7 degenerative discs in my back.
yeah. But so the thing is, like when you had that MRI of your back,
I love
and
how you
had-
said we're all over 30. You just turned 30. Simmer down.
Slick. I've been 30 for about 2 weeks.
Hey, but you add my 50, it screws the numbers up.
Okay, touche.
But like when you have that MRI of a disc herniation and have that MRI 15 years later, that disc herniation is not there. Like
It heals.
It heals.
Yeah.
Really?
Now you might have a new one.
Yeah,
Like that
okay,
stuff
okay.
fluctuates. Like, but it's what we call it is aging of the spine. It's like inside your body, just like you get gray hair, wrinkles on the outside.
Right.
That stuff's gonna happen.
It's like
on the
having
inside.
a car for a long time.
Yeah,
Eventually,
like it's not
things
going to
gonna
look
break.
brand new on the
Yeah.
inside no matter what you do, and that's why exercise and health and doing all the things like being about it is super important. But for a picture, like MRIs are too good now.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna find stuff.
Right.
What is really reassuring too when I have that 50, 60-year-old, they have the MRI of the knee and they show like a little bit of arthritis. It's like, dude, you don't know how good this is. I would love for my knee to look like that when I'm 50. Like that
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
Or their neck has like nothing wrong with it. I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they're like super worried about like the little bit of arthritis they saw or whatever, and some of that too is how the doctor presents it.
Fear mongering them,
They throw
yeah.
this picture up there. This is what's wrong with you. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then like, all right, bye. Like,
Because you kind of talked me off the ledge because I had my left one done and had such good success.
Your shoulder,
and I
right?
Think I
Yeah.
think all it was is like this one was causing
Was
me
better.
so much pain.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
this
you-
one
for
was
sure.
great.
Right.
So I had before I retired.
Then you
I
fixed
had
that
this
one.
one done, and it said the labrum tear. Or I mean not labrum. What's the supraspinatus
Yeah,
tear?
sure.
Full tear across. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But my bicep tendon was good on this side, and so I made an appointment with Colby and went there, and he read it, and he was like, dude, he's like, if we go out here right now in the gym, everybody your age probably
Yeah,
has the same
100%.
tear.
It'd be amazing if they didn't.
Yeah, the strength around it, explain it to me, and we had worked out. What got me is like we had worked out together like the week before. We were doing wall-facing handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
I was talking
Yeah,
about. So
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, you were doing them probably better than me. Like,
Yeah.
come
You're-
see me.
yeah, you're fine.
No, yeah.
And I
mean,
was pushing so many people to go see him. He finally told somebody. He's like, "Tell that motherfucker to come see me," because
Yeah.
he's referring all. So I finally was like, made an appointment.
Yeah, That's so
you know?
funny.
And all it was giving me exercises, and like it helped immensely.
Yeah.
And I still use the same ones. Like I told him, I got a,
Yeah.
he writes them on the board. I took a picture. I got them in an album.
Yeah.
And I'll just.
And if something starts
couple
flaring
times-
up, you
yeah,
hit
I
those-
do
yep.
those exercises, and
It's so funny to
helps.
me, like, especially in the CrossFit space, right? Like, we don't realize how often that, like, we do repetitive movements, right? Like,
For
we
sure.
talk about it's constantly varied, but we do this, we do this, like we do so much of the same, like, I don't know,
Pushing and
style
pulling and
of
pressing,
movements, that it's just like none of us, right? Like, not that any of us, come in here and then all of a sudden we're games level, but like none of us, like, probably inched our way into that, right?
No.
We went full throttle because it's so exciting, it's so fun, and then your body's not used to that amount of repetition, so you start doing that, and your muscles, your tendons, your, like, the smaller things aren't primed for that. So I find it so freaking important. I tell people all the time, like, if you're hurting, even if it's just minuscule, go see Colby, go see so-and-so, go see this person. They're going to give you exercises to help you keep doing these things, because quite frankly, like, none of us probably took the time or effort to enter the CrossFit society the right way, right? Like, and it's just going to help you feel better in the gym, which is what we all want when we're here anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's something to say about, like, like, why CrossFit works is you're doing a lot of different stuff. You're doing it at higher intensity, so you're getting a lot of good things. And but sometimes what people don't want to do is, like, the slow tempo,
non-sexy
like,
stuff.
Non-sexy stuff, right? Yeah, like, which we're like, just like comparing that to, like, bodybuilding. They're doing all that stuff. Like, so typically they're pretty healthy from a joint, exercise, like a joint, tendon, ligament perspective. The sport of bodybuilding has its own issues as a whole topic. That can be unhealthy for different reasons. But, like, with CrossFit, and, like, so for example, like, this week was really hot, so we did a little bit more, like, lifting stuff Monday through Wednesday, less high intensity. It was cool, but I was like, I really just want to, like,
it's not as fun.
It's not as fun. It's like, I get it. I totally, like, being a CrossFitter, like, through and through, like, I totally get it why. Like, your shoulder hurts, you're like, I just don't want to stop. Like, it's addicting.
It is addicting.
So
I keep my exercises that you gave me from, like, 4 years ago. I'm like, oh man, my arm's starting to hurt. I need to hit those exercises.
Right.
It's so important.
Yeah, and that's like, to have that in your bag is like I love hearing that, because I want that to be like your thing. Like that's your medicine. That's that pill bottle you pull out. It's your stuff.
Right.
Because we are going to have little things over the years. If you don't, you're either like made from different stuff than we are.
Yeah, or, you just better than us.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or you ain't trying hard enough.
Or you ain't trying hard enough. Or you're lying.
You're lying.
Yeah. So
if I could count how many people come into the gym 10-15 minutes before class and are doing exercises that Colby gave them,
that's good.
It's hysterical to me. I'm like, this
we could have a whole pre-class class.
Yes,
on,
like,
all right,
people
everybody do
warming
your
up.
Colby exercises.
I mean,
it's so funny.
We can write them on the board. All right, if your shoulder's bad, do these.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things, and I tell a lot of people here too, I'm like, make your friends do this. They can benefit.
Just make, If I could tell you how many times Nick has asked me if I'm getting a freaking, an extension for your freaking quads. What are you, the monkey foot? If I could tell you how many times Nick has asked me, when you getting that? When you getting that? Like, leave me alone.
What's the monkey foot?
You, like,
it's like
attaches to your feet, you put a dumbbell in it.
It's like a ski boot.
So that, like, you can work on your quads, right? Like, ISO your quads and things in the extension, because we're not going to get a machine in here like that, probably.
No, it's just too expensive, too space consuming.
Yeah, too much space. So Nick has asked me, every time he sees you, he comes back, hey, Colby told me to tell you.
That and the reverse hyper are just like, they're up there.
The reverse hyper, too.
That's money stuff.
Hey, when we do some exciting...
it's just stuff you're not doing. It's just stuff you're not doing in CrossFit.
We're going to do some renovations in the gym, hopefully later this year. And I might could squeeze in a reverse hyper.
That's only a couple $100.
I mean, look.
And you can do a lot of things. You can do knee extensions with those.
We laughed about it the other day, Sam and I. Again, totally off topic. Like, we need to pay for something. I was like, I'm never going to be able to take a salary, am I? He's like, no.
You got 1 month, you got something.
One month, you got something. He's like, you're done.
You're back.
Hey, it's all for a good cause. All for a good cause.
Yeah, you're playing the long game though. Like, you have Suffolk, like the empire, like you are the Mongols of Suffolk. Like, you own everything.
We're just buying our time, baby.
Where the sun touches is all great land.
So, I'm gonna hold up my baby. Everything the light touches.
So I mean, you're just waiting on people to move out here.
That's right.
You'll get your own seat on the city council.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
One sweaty representative.
Gosh.
So how many people do you think, what percentage of people do you talk down off the ledge of having surgery? You think that's pretty common?
I would say it's not super common I would say it's not super common in the people we see, because they do take their health a little bit seriously.
Right, since you're in that sports zone.
You're helping people that are trying to get back into the game.
Yeah, because they're coming that way. But as far as how many people I might do that if I was in more of a different setting, to where it is like real general population.
Right.
Whoa, that'd be a lot.
Yeah.
So like I would say, like, talking people out of surgery, I'm touchy on. Well, I would say I've gotten less slack. Maybe 2-3 years ago I'd be really touchy because I don't want to like tick off surgeons.
Yeah.
Or now, like, I don't care. Like I mean, I just don't, like, some
You
people.
shouldn't.
there's just some surgeons that are like very like God complex
Well,
people.
you've also been and had multiple surgeries. Like, you know firsthand how it goes.
Oh yeah, and maybe I have my biases for sure. And then when people start talking surgery like right away, I'm like, how can I convince this person
Just give me some-
objectively
yeah,
though, that like we don't need to do this? Like my opinion to people, like they don't know me, they don't care. Like if I say no, like, okay, well you're a PT and that was an orthopedic surgeon, like
He's smarter than you.
sorry, yeah. So like, how can I show this person they don't need it? And that's why, like with even like you, like we have a good relationship, but like you were doing handstand push-ups 2 weeks ago. That's why you don't need surgery, not because I said so. Like
Yeah,
I have
right.
to give you a reason.
Right.
So like a lot of that, and that's like a big portion of what I do is like writing stuff on the board. Like, hey, like I took your shoulder to in range both ways, tested everything. You were strong all the way around. You had some pain, but you could do it. That's telling me we probably don't need to look at surgery right away.
Yeah, because my orthopedist, she was like, she told me almost the same thing you did. She's like, your rotator cuff, she's like, that you could live with that. It might limit what you can do some days. And she had done, was into CrossFit, was into Ollie, so she understood the movements. She goes, your bicep tendon, however, it's not a matter of if it goes, it's when. And she goes, if it goes on its own, she's like, it's going to be a bad day. So she gave me the option.
Right there. She started off great, and then
she gave me, well, she gave me the option. She was like, you don't have to do this. I can just do the bicep tendon, but I can make your shoulder 100%. And you know, and I'm like, and I was getting ready to retire. I'm like, all right, let's get it done. And I'm glad I did it. I've had good success. Like we have somebody in the gym here, her shoulder is really just, it's getting worse, and she's gone through the cycles of PT, and it gets a little bit better, but it never gets fully better. So she was asking me what was your recovery, and I was like, I was literally 5 months to the day of surgery to a bar muscle up. She's like, oh, well, that ain't bad. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It goes by quick.
Is this Kelsey?
Yeah. And I was like, it goes by quick. I was like, so
and
if you need to do, if you feel like you need it, just pull the trigger.
Totally respectable.
And just get it done.
Totally
because the sooner you get
if
it
you've
done.
been dealing with something for years, like that's concerning. I also don't know what she's seen or anything like that.
I was initially, because this problem had been going on for years, right? And it would get better and worse and better and worse. And I avoided it for a long time because I knew like I wouldn't be operational anymore in the military for a while, and I was getting by. And finally, it was to the point where I'm about to retire. If I'm going to get it done, I'm going to do it now. And I had good success with it. You know? And there could be some people that get a bad surgeon. You know?
And that's the
like
thing too. Like you're rolling that dice, and you're hoping that surgeon is good. I mean, and most of them are. Like most of them put that together well, but like sometimes it doesn't work out how you think it is.
And I like her attitude.
Could you tell us about that?
I straight up asked her. I was like, "Are you good at these?" She's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "I've done a fellowship in these." She's like, shoulders are my thing. And I'm like, all right, let's send it then. Let's get it done.
And then that's totally respectable too. Like some people do need to go through that process, and it's totally okay.
Right.
So since we're kind of on the topic of surgery, let's talk about surgery and then how it relates to recovery afterwards, specifically with you. So let's talk about your Achilles pop.
Yeah, my Achilles. So
tell people how it happened too.
Literally my Achilles heel.
So I tore my Achilles about a little over 2 years ago. It was like February of 23, doing a CrossFit competition. I technically was jump roping. I don't blame the jump rope on it. What I did was I hit my last rep. If you look up Achilles tear of anyone that's done it in the NBA in the last several years, you know, when that front foot goes forward, back leg goes backwards, and your heel hits that ground, and you get into that big stretch, it popped. I was going to run forward for handstand push-ups and basically felt like I got kicked in the Achilles. It wasn't super loud or like
Colby
painful.
Just stopped and was like, I think I just tore my Achilles. As common or calm as cool and can be. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I was messaging him, and it's not that you can get somebody's emotion over message, but literally over messages, he seemed pretty calm. He's like,
I mean, like, so
it sucked.
I mean, it's like, it's funny though, because like when I tore my bicep too, it's basically the same thing. Like it popped, it's like, okay, I'm good. Like I'm okay. Like it wasn't that painful. And that's not everyone's story. Like you've seen some Achilles on video that are like they're crying, they're screaming. I don't know how much emotion is in that. Like But I did know what happened immediately. Like I knew, like I was like, my freaking Achilles just tore. Like holy shit. So like, you know, like why that happened. That's like, now that I've like really been able to process it, looking back, like I have, like if you had to create a recipe for how to tear an Achilles, I did that, which was I ran a half marathon about 5 months prior. I had some Achilles issues that I didn't really address, but I was just like slowly running because I'm not.
And you're like, runner. I'm just running more than normal, so it's related to that.
Yeah, it's maybe a little like overtraining of something I wasn't doing.
Right.
I ran that half, cold turkey, stopped running. wasn't really training CrossFit as much as maybe I should have been, because I just had a new kid. We just moved, had some other like little things like going on, and then I made a CrossFit competition, signed up for it, did it, and in that weekend we had box jumps, we had a mile run on a runner that I've never touched, we had rope climbs,
heavy
which I was
double
following,
unders,
and then heavy double unders, which you're springing a lot more. So just all of that probably just started to weaken that tendon, and then I put it in the worst place it could be, outstretched position, forcefully pushing forward, and unfortunately it popped. So it just was like it was a bad recipe.
So you say that, right? And like, this is a total side note, because we've seen I feel like since you tore your Achilles, I feel like it's
Dozens.
the year of the Achilles, right?
Yeah,
like the next 5 years.
We were talking about this earlier.
And I tell you what, even Tristan, like my coach, he makes us do, like, he calls it athletic development.
Yeah.
He was like, we're going to bound, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And like, I know you guys don't bound a lot in the sport, and then we ask you to high intensity bound, and like, it's going to get to a point where you're going to hurt yourself. And so we've incorporated those kind of things immediately into training to try to combat that.
Yeah, and then that's, I mean, the things you don't see what games athletes are doing is a lot of that GPP that you just don't see, because it's not like,
because it's not fun to
CrossFit.
watch. Yeah.
So like, that's just stuff you don't see, and that's what people don't like. There's a lot of differences between the average fit person and a games athlete, but but like one big thing is like doing all the physical therapy,
The extra
accessory
stuff,
crap that takes 2 hours a day that you just don't have time to do.
Yeah, and the regular people don't, right? Like, we're not going to do that.
Yeah,
Getting working out, like, gotta go.
I gotta go,
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is like, again, like, you know, tempo work, bounding, plyometrics, all that stuff for all of your tissue capacity.
Right.
And athleticism, like, you know, does that make you a better weightlifter? Absolutely.
Right.
Is it going to make you on box jumps? Absolutely.
And
so, like,
we've talked about this of like where you get into the sport and like your strength goes up really quickly, but your tendons haven't caught up to like what your muscles are doing.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I feel like that's a big thing for me. And obviously taking a step back, doing tempo work, doing bounding work, doing single leg work, like really controlling to like make sure that everything's rising together, not like here and here.
Because at some point you might get too fit for how like your tissue can handle volume.
What you can actually handle.
So it's like, okay, I'm fit enough to do 4 hours of training a day, but my knee tendon's like, whoa, buddy.
My body's like, simmer down.
So like,
you are over 30.
Yes, that's where isometrics, you know, slow tempo stuff, doing single leg stuff, more bodybuilding, strength work is almost a have to.
I love bodybuilding. I feel like that has kept me a lot healthier the last 2 years.
For sure.
So if we Googled a picture of an Achilles tendon, yours tore in the middle, like the tendon itself tore?
So no, mine actually tore. So basically think like muscle fibers coming down, thick tendon coming up, and then there's this area where it's kind of like both.
Okay.
So mine tore there at the musculotendinous junction, which is a lot higher up than most people do. Most people tear it right in the middle, mid-Achilles, it's all tendon. Like, so like basically like 3 fingers from the heel. That's like your mid portion of your Achilles. That's where most of them happen. Mine tore in the middle of that. So think like spaghetti strings. So it was like the worst place you can tear, you know, a tendon as well, because it's not putting together 2 nice blocks for a surgeon. It's putting together
strings.
Yeah, so like it's just a lot more complicated of a injury, and just like as far as like how long that takes for him to do the recovery,
right into the recovery,
all that stuff is just a little different. So like comparing that to Aaron Rodgers, who tore his off the bone,
down at the heel,
popped. So muscle's good, musculotendin junction's good, mid Achilles is good. His just literally popped off the bone. Dude, just freaking
so it's a completely different injury.
Literally just put
hit the stapler down there, man.
Pop. He's gonna go. So like
they probably use some
when that
air tools in that.
So when that happened, it was such a like Aaron Rodgers doing so good. I'm like, that guy, dude. It wasn't the same thing. Like first
that's good to explain though, because I wouldn't have known any different. Like all you hear is Achilles tendon rippage.
So like how it happened is a big difference. And then he had surgery in 12 hours. I had surgery in 4 weeks.
Right.
Which is not
huge.
good.
Yeah.
For 4 weeks, I was literally like dragging my leg behind me with a torn Achilles. That's not good.
So when it happened, you were 99.9% sure you knew what it was, or 100% because of what you do. Did you go to the ER?
No, because like again, like going back to the whole primary care doctor ER thing, what are they going to do?
Yeah, you just wrapped it up, right?
So like some of Aaron's friends were athletic trainers. Oh man, that's why. So they splinted me. I knew it. I knew I had to go home. We had some ankle surgeons as preference people, so I knew like who I needed to contact. So I kind of started to do that thing, but I'm not a professional athlete, So when I call up Monday, they're like, yeah, we can see you in 10 days. I'm like, my Achilles is torn. They're like, yeah,
Right.
like, we'll
Yeah,
have to
well,
get an
we'll
MRI
fit you
first.
in. Yeah.
Like, I know it's torn. They don't care, you know.
Yeah.
So that's
You
the
also
unfortunate
don't have
part.
the funds that Aaron Rodgers probably has to be like,
yeah.
I need it now.
No, like they're getting an MRI within 12 hours.
Yeah.
Surgeries, you know,
At the
immediately.
stadium, yeah,
Immediately. And then, you know, he's doing stem cell therapy within 10 days.
And ayahuasca down in South America.
All the things. All the things. Yeah. So he has all day to recover. He's sleeping 10 hours a day. Like, it's not even comparable.
That's a good point.
Not even comparable for a regular person. You know, he's getting, you know, pre-made meals, staying high protein, taking all of his supplements. Like, he's doing the hyperbaric chamber, like everything you could do.
Right.
He's
Those
doing
guys
it.
are doing that.
Yeah.
Probably taking peptides. You know, actually, I think he's talked about he did do peptides. Like everything that maybe makes 0% or 1% difference.
Right.
Well, if you do all 20 of those, you might make a 10% difference.
Yeah, that's a big
difference.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
But we're talking, see that situation though, it's unlimited funds, unlimited access.
The
they have their
perfect
own
scenario
surgeons
for them.
that they use for their
Yep.
team.
They're the
They're on
best guys.
standby.
Yep.
They got an
Yeah.
MRI that they'll hold it, like they probably have their own MRI.
I'm guaranteed they have one in the stadium, right?
Yeah.
Like they just go down, it's there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then like, you know, Aaron Rodgers isn't a good example of like, you know, like always like, hey, like I'm sorry, you're not Kevin Durant when he tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one of the best athletes in the world.
Right,
like,
right.
You're not him. I'm sorry. Like that's a difference too. Like who the person is.
Touche.
Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers is not the most athletic cat. But like when you like look at like other people's Achilles, oh, he made it back in 12 months. Like, well, yeah, well, like that dude's different.
He's built different.
Yeah.
What you're doing with that Achilles
Yeah.
are two totally different worlds.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Right.
it's like you can't compare. I mean, I guess you could, but it's hard to even compare an NFL player to an NBA player to an
Yes.
MLB
Oh, yeah,
player to a
1000%.
hockey player.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
What are
Adrian
we
Peterson
comparing?
tore his ACL. He came back and had his best year ever, which was
Yeah.
like, oh, like right.
Yeah.
But like, well, he went into that ACL tear with some quad strength that you have never seen before.
You ain't never seen.
He can
yeah.
run a 5-minute mile. Like
Yeah.
he's like, I mean, he's lean. Like that stuff matters.
Right.
And then you start looking at surgery for our general pop, like us guys. Like we
And
could
we're
all
not
be.
general, right? Like we're not the general population, but yeah.
But a general like fit person.
Compared, yeah.
Like,
But
you
the
know, those
doctors
levels.
we're going to get are for the general population.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right, for the person that like sits on their couch all day.
Right. Yeah. So like, you know, that's just is what it is.
That's crazy.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's jump. So you finally get surgery. Would you say 4 weeks later?
Yeah. 4 weeks later, had surgery.
And how was that recovery?
I mean, it's so slow. Like, you know, so I was, and this is like, I mean, this is how the first one went, which is a little bit into the second one. So I'm non-weight bearing for 8 weeks. So I'm in a boot. I can't touch the floor. I'm on crutches. And then after that, the crutches come off. I start walking in a boot for another 4 weeks. At 12 weeks, I can start to walk in a heel elevated shoe. Rehab starts
Colby's
in
wearing
about
his
5-6
lifters
weeks.
all over the place.
Yeah. I started wearing lifters just because, like, why not? And then so the calf rehab started 5 months, and I mean, I'm doing calf raises and some type of like ankle mobility or strengthening for really every single day for a year and a half. Unfortunately, did not have the outcome I wanted to, and went and saw a second opinion doctor and told me that like how the surgery went the first time was not how it should have gone. So I had a lengthening lengthening surgery. So basically what he did was go in, re-tear my Achilles surgically and shorten it to make the levers better for me to hopefully be able to use my foot.
That was on your second
So
surgery?
Yeah.
So basically starting the process over, very similar aspect, but
I felt so
We're
bad for you,
surgical
Colby.
Eskimo brothers too. The guy that did his Achilles
Dude.
did my ankle.
oh really? Yes, he's awesome.
No, Durden.
Oh, Durden,
Yeah.
yeah. The first guy, not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan. You know what? Not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan.
My ankle's great though, so like you can put screws in.
Yeah. And, like, and, you know, like, it's just one of those things, like, going back to, like, what are you going to get back to? I'm sure he's done dozens of Achilles, getting back to
And
general
those people
population
are fine.
people, and they're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, like, I want to do some really cool things.
I have a question.
That's
Did
just
they
different.
ask you that? Like, I'm just curious.
No. Not at all.
What? Like what you want to do?
Yeah, like, hey,
No.
like, because just like Colby was
No.
just saying, like, I ask people X, Y, and Z, like, and I mean, I guess the surgery should be the same regardless, right? Like, that shouldn't
Yeah, they're
matter.
not gonna change
but
things, yeah.
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was my when I broke my ankle, the ankle bone off. That was a pretty quick process. I had done it like on a Thursday or Friday, and saw the
All I'm
orthopedist
saying
the
is-
next week. Because when I went to the ER the next day,
Yeah.
the orthopedist, I remember he was like, "Did you walk in here?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I kind of limped in here." He's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "I don't know." He's like, "They didn't offer you a wheelchair?" I'm like, "I didn't see one. I just hobbled in here." But he's like, "All right, I got you an appointment with the because he was just the on-call guy in the ER."
Right.
Sure.
I had an appointment the next week with the orthopedist, and then I was in surgery the next week. So my process was super quick. That's 380.
No, it's
No,
more
it's
than
got-
that.
it's
He's
over
got
4.
3 55s
Yeah,
on.
it's over 4
It's over 4.
for sure.
I'll do the
Because
math
that
in a
red
minute.
makes that yellow blue.
Yeah.
So that's like 440.
You
maybe?
throw me off when you
430?
do colors. I do the math
Hold
if they
on,
were
hold
blues and greens.
And then he's got a 35.
Well, 3 times 55 times 3 or 6.
Yeah, so 55 times 3.
Well, 6.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Oh, one side.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Simmer down, Tiger.
Plus a 10.
And now he just put on 10s. So he's about to be doing 465.
I mean, I could deadlift. I could
455-ish?
deadlift that.
Right. That's my deadlift PR.
You know, I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, God, this mother trucker's getting chalk everywhere. But I guess when you lift like that,
Oh, you
like
gotta- yeah.
fucking, you got it like
You gotta
that.
have grip.
Yeah, I guess I'm running the machine.
Oh
I
my
forget where
gosh.
we were. Oh yeah, my process was super fast getting that surgery.
Yeah,
But they,
Bones
one of my
is- Bones
surgeries,
is
they
pretty
literally
good.
asked me, and I was blown away. They're like, "All right, where do you want to be when you're done?" I'm like, I
Interesting.
didn't understand what you meant.
Yeah,
And they're like,
yeah.
"Well, do you want to be 100%, 60?" I'm like, "I want to be 100%." Like, I'm
Does it matter? Like,
Yeah.
what's gonna?
put me
Yeah.
back to
60% 's
normal.
great.
I'm like, "Yeah, can you make me better than I was?"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
120.
120 if you got it in
can you
there.
turn
Yeah.
me into freaking Captain
Bionic
America?
Man? Yeah.
No doubt. I know, yeah.
That's
I'm still waiting on
crazy.
that. Still waiting on the Captain America program.
So after your second one though, recovery was a little bit faster, right?
So recovery
Or
wasn't...
just because you had the experience?
Yeah, so and that was a partially like what was wrong with the first surgery was his protocol was very like slow
Mm-hmm.
and conservative, which you don't necessarily want to be with Achilles. So it wasn't that the recovery was faster. We just were a lot more aggressive with rehab.
Right.
Like I was doing calf raises seated like 3
Your
weeks
ballerina
out.
series really was
Yeah.
like the highlight
Yeah.
of my day.
Yes. So then I worked with a coworker, Corinne, awesome. And was a professional ballet dancer, so she just like knows a lot more about the ankle than the typical person. So like she got super creative on some things we could do very early on, just to start to build a calf raise back. Because like my calves will probably never be the same as far as strength
Right,
goes, but
right.
like I'll be doing calf raises for strength for years until it gets back to somewhat of something that can be functional.
Would you say
So-
you're at 100% now?
Oh no, definitely. I mean, so no. But can I do things in CrossFit pretty much exactly how I could do them before? For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if like today we did pistols, I have no shame of putting a heel lift in my shoe. So
Right.
like I was using
Yeah.
a little mini lifter, and then if we're doing double unders and it's like 400 reps, I'm not doing 400. Like I'm doing sets of 20, and I'll probably do half the volume. So like I'm scaling appropriately.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what I'm
Is
doing.
it because your Achilles physically can't handle that volume?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any mental?
No, unfortunately not.
Fear
which
with
is
it?
probably a bad thing.
Yeah, because I
Like-
had that when I tore my hamstring. Didn't have surgery or anything.
Yeah.
But like that was a long time before
Yeah.
like
I mean,
past the physical part, and I still
That you feel
sometimes think.
comfortable doing.
Yeah, I still sometimes when we go to deadlift heavy, I'm like, oh crap. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember what that was like.
Mm-hmm.
you
I
know?
would say I think about it a lot more so because like the scar is really bad. So and actually, so the second surgery went really good in some ways, in other ways it wasn't because I got an infection, which
Oh, I
is
remember
just
that, yeah.
was just a
Which is
bad.
just-
It's
Did
just
you get
bad
MRSA?
luck.
Did you have MRSA in there?
No, it's technically cellulitis, which is
Okay.
basically just like a skin infection, like right underneath the skin. So like the scar looks really bad. So like it bothers me, but I know it's the scar, not the Achilles.
Right.
so
It
like-
makes you nervous.
Yeah, so like when it hurts sometimes I'm like, is that just like my shoe rubbing or is that just like something going on? But I know, okay, I do my stuff right. I warmed up, I'm not doing anything. So like, I know I'm do it right, but like that's why I do scale things because, why this happened is like if that muscle is not strong and the Achilles tendon is taking too much of the hit, we'll call it, that's where trouble happens. And in a double under, it's a rebound to your Achilles calf. Like,
Right.
there's nothing else happening that. Where if you do a box jump, it's a lot more muscle groups. So like
Right.
you don't have to spring off that heel as much as you would a double under or a sprint or changing direction. So so yeah, I'm just careful with it. And like, but I freaking hate double unders anyway. So like, it's like, I go,
You know what,
I'm not
darn.
mad about it
Yeah.
at all. And it's funny, we were talking about, maybe some people are not as honest on the leaderboard as they should be. My take is if I'm doing double unders, that's RX. I don't care how many I did.
Yeah.
That's my,
I did it. That's my RX.
So like, you can take that with what you will.
Oh Lord.
So
That's why I feel like there should be a master's athlete RX.
Yeah. Can we get a master's division?
we have masters like whatever the workout is, masters version of it at Unrivaled. So it's like
That's
the weight's
good.
a little different or whatever. But yeah, it's like if there's double unders, it's like that's a little much. Like I'm just doing whatever I want to do.
Yeah. But
So-
thank you. Like, okay, thank you for doing that, right? Like, I wish more people would, like, do that on their own. Like,
Yeah.
like Courtney, for example. Courtney
Yeah,
just posted that
tough.
she's pregnant.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love her to pieces. She's like, toes to bar really, really hurt my abdomen. And I look up, and she's doing toes to bar in the
Yeah,
workout. I'm
yeah.
like, stop.
Yeah.
Like you have to be aware of what you are capable of.
Yeah.
And, like, again, does it matter if you're at the top of the leaderboard that day?
Yeah,
What am I
no.
going to do? Go brag to my kids at home? Like, just
Yeah.
do what you can do to make your workout best for
I
you.
modify stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Like today, like I've told you, I either got a calf strain or something going on down there. So I've been thinking about this dude all week. I doubled it yesterday. But like,
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God,
you know
oh my
what?
God.
So I did 5 pistols on my right foot, and then I did 5 air squats, and
Yeah.
then passed
Yeah.
on to my partner.
And
Go
that's
ahead.
fine.
Because
Yeah.
it hurts on the left. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even gonna
It's
mess with it.
crazy to me that people don't listen to their bodies, like, when it comes to, like, we all get into CrossFit. We love the competitive itch. We want to, like, race, and we want to be, like, competitive with people. But at some point, like, and I said this when I was briefing a class this week, I was like, none of us are going to the games. Like,
Yeah.
simmer down. You
Yeah.
don't need to run 600 meters in freaking 100-degree weather if you haven't run outside in 6 months. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Did you get a good workout at the end of the day?
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like
Are
when we
you
have
happy with
coaches that won't let people modify certain things. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's their hour.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
their workout. As
Yeah.
long as it's in the realm, like, let them have a good time working out, please.
Like
Yeah.
Tommy told me the other day, he's like, I love that you're always like, sure, man, do whatever you want.
whatever. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, man, it's your membership, it's your hour. If,
Tommy, am I going to argue with you right
Yeah,
now?
It's
No.
not like
Yeah,
as long as
yeah.
you're happy.
Yes.
That's all. That's all that
Exactly.
freaking
As long
matters.
as you're happy and you're getting fitter. Which, if you're here, you're getting fitter than 99% of the people in the world.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
I think the general population in the gym, when they see people that they feel are like, you know, the heavy hitters in the gym,
Right, people to admire.
modifying things,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you know what, it is okay
That's
if
why
I
I
do
love
something.
that.
Yeah.
I love, like,
Yeah.
people are going to look to you and, like, he's a physical therapist. He's obviously very athletic. Like, he knows what he's talking about. If he's doing this, like, there's no shame in me doing this.
Yep.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually helped our gym a little bit too. Like, especially because like starting in December, that's when I just started, like, I'm just doing class now. Like, I don't train on my own or whatever anymore. Like, I just do class 5-6 days a week. So I'm just around a lot of those people a lot more. And a lot of these people I've treated before. But,
Right.
you know, in the last couple of months, I've gotten to where I pretty much do the class as is for the most part.
Right.
But a couple months ago, it was like if we ran on Monday, which I'm comfortable doing, but if Tuesday was some other, like, calf movement, a box or whatever, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just completely switch the workout. But I will say, like, you know, like, for the people that it's tough to do, I know personally when that bench day rolls around, though, like, sorry about it, guys.
Load 'em up.
Bye. So, like, I still,
Good try.
I still get my fix, though. You know, it's
Yeah,
like, I
that's
totally
very true.
get it.
That's
Like,
very true.
You know, like with Courtney is a good example. Like, she's a great runner, so, like, you know, that's gonna, like,
Yes.
it's gonna get bad at some point of being pregnant.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be tough. But,
To
like,
take away her, like,
her good part of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, or toes bar, if she's better to move and she can do the thing. Like, so I
Yeah.
totally get it. But yeah, at the end of the day, though, like, I've definitely felt, like, really good about scaling back all the workout or just that movement, getting a good workout and not being in pain the next day or not, like, worrying.
That matters.
And you do that 5-6 days in a row, you're like, this feels great.
You're like, I actually feel
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Instead of just skipping the class or whatever.
Yeah, I do appreciate
like,
that.
Like, snatch day is a very thin class for a lot of people.
Because
they just
of-
don't like it. Or it hurts
Do you think
with
they don't
mobility.
like it because they're not good at the movement,
Oh,
or
for
they
sure.
their numbers aren't what they?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Or ailments of some
yeah.
kind,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Or it hurts. So, yeah.
It's crazy to me, like, we have people like that, right? Like, so a good example for us is, like, we went from CrossFit and, like, a flex bodybuilding style class to CrossFit Light, and I really thought that the ladies in the crowd that did the CrossFit Light, like, if there was snatches, they weren't gonna want to snatch. So I always
Sure.
wrote in for this cycle, I was like, whenever we have snatch day, you're gonna do deadlifts, and whenever we have a clean and jerk day, we're gonna do front squats. And,
Sure.
like, that's just gonna be our cycle.
Sure.
And I gave them the option. It made it harder as coaches to, like,
Sure.
coach two things, but, like, let's try this.
Sure.
And I am dumbfounded with how many women that, like, in their 50s and 60s who've never snatched before, like, wanted to snatch.
Yeah.
Some days it felt good, some days it didn't. If they couldn't use a barbell, like, okay, let's just use dumbbells.
Yeah,
like,
sure,
we can
no doubt.
we can work through this.
Yeah.
But it was shocking to me because I was afraid that people would be like, I'm just not coming.
Yeah. And then you want to avoid that at all
Come on,
costs.
come on. Dude, this is the ground underneath
Yeah,
me
yeah,
shaking.
yeah,
Because I'll tell you, I've told a bunch of people this. I don't care if I ever snatch 225 again.
I
I don't care if I ever clean and jerk 275 again.
Tristan asked me what my goals were, right? Because like I don't plan on doing team again, and he's like, "What are your goals? Like, what do you care about?" I was like, "I don't care if I snatch another day in my life. Like, I just don't care."
I look at if I can do the general RX or close to it, I'm good with that. As long as I move good, I'd rather just do all the cool movements that I think
that are fun for me.
Are fun for me and functional. Like, I keep doing muscle ups. I
like
just
the
think
thing
it's
you
cool.
sent me the other day, we're never going to use this in the real world. And the girl's like picking something off the floor, doing a pistol.
And doing a wall ball to put something in the cat.
Right. Which is, I mean, which really what this is about. Like, I mean, like, a snatch is a great example too. And I tell this people all the time. Like, if you don't want to snatch, like, talk to your coach and just do cleans.
We do that all the time.
Like, that's totally fine.
That's so fine.
It's so much more. Like, it takes a little bit less athleticism, a little bit less mobility. You can go heavier.
Functional.
And unless you're like the cat behind us, you're never going to snatch enough weight to actually put like a heavy stimulus on your spine because it's always so much lower.
Unless you're that's
I mean,
a fact.
you got to be so technically sound to snatch enough weight for it to like add up to your body.
Yeah.
Where like unless you like really focus on that, it's just not going to be there.
It's not going to happen.
So like, if you don't want to do it, that's fine.
That's so true.
I had somebody the other day where handstand push-ups were in there, and she was like, "Hey, Chris, can I just do strict press with the dumbbells?" Absolutely.
Absolutely. Why not? Honestly, I'd like that better for you.
Yeah.
I know you enough. I know you can do them. So obviously, it's something we don't have to have a big discussion. You know, I've pinged on Alonzo the last couple months. Fantastic athlete. We all know he's got a bum knee.
Bum knee. So
I would tell him, "Hey, man, if you start doing this and it's bothering you, switch to this."
Do something else.
Sure.
I'll see a grimace on his face. I'm like, "Hey, man, let's move that box to a 20." And like today, I saw him just doing air squats. I'm like, "Nice."
Thank
I'm
God.
glad.
That's like, I mean, like knowing that though, like obviously, like as a good coach, like you had to have your people that you know, like you taking your time to say that, whether they say anything or not, not leaving it to them is huge.
It's huge.
Like, I'm just telling you, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, like
you're giving them permission. Like that's really
exactly.
Some people, that's all they need.
And like I've been doing pistols more often lately, and I normally
We've been in a cycle of pistols.
Yeah, and I normally don't because I usually say, hey, unless it's in the open or a comp, I just because it isn't a movement that really you can apply to everyday life. My right leg's good, my left leg's good. I've been doing them more. Maybe I shouldn't do them. I don't know. I just take it day by day. Maybe I shouldn't do them. But like.
Yeah, could you do a split squat though, or a Bulgarian split squat at 25s? Like, absolutely.
And that's what we do, right? Like, I mean, sometimes I feel like the crossover, not like that I am a healthcare professional with a doctorate, right? But like, some of it, as far as being in the gym, is like taking the things that I've learned from you for my own self and like applying those to other people. Like, and I think that's what makes a lot of our coaches good coaches is like, I really don't give a shit if you can pistol, but I do care if you can singly load one leg.
For sure.
So like, let's try to focus on X, Y, and Z versus like the cool CrossFit movement that does not matter.
I'll give you like 3 ways to modify it. If that works for you.
And if you get a good workout, again, you get a good workout, and hopefully like we're doing things that'll like. I do send people to you, but I don't want to have to send them to you all the time.
Well, I mean, but you're the first line of defense, right? So, like, you know, like coaches, like, I give you guys so much credit. Like, you guys know a lot. There's a lot of crossover. Like, there's a lot of skills we have. That you definitely don't. But there's a lot of crossover. So, I want you to have to like be able to feel like I don't need like. Immediately as soon as someone has something, I'm sending everyone to a PT. Like, no, that's okay. But like if it's been like 2-3 weeks and like, you know, you don't have, it's not personal training. You can't sit there and like just focus on this person every single day. Like that's not what this is. That's $100 an hour with that person. Like that's
which we could get to that.
Yeah, we could do that.
I ain't got nothing but time.
But like, you know, like with you guys having a movement basis to scale and change that thing, like absolutely.
And I would say like, I don't know if this was your idea, Colby, or maybe Direct Performance in general. And like, I hope that you do this going forward, which like we can talk about like your next like life changes, but like having y'all come into the gym and doing clinics like you've done before, like I find that so valuable. Just because it allows people to be their own advocate as well. You've given them the tools to kind of say like, hey, we're going to go over a shoulder clinic today and here's all the things. Again, I don't know whose idea that was, but like I wish there was more of that in our space of like sharing knowledge with people that can help us all be better.
No doubt.
Especially in the physical sense.
Yeah. So like that's something that I can't remember whose original idea was. I think it was Amanda, who was my mentor. And when I got into Rep Performance, so I did my first one was a pistol clinic. So like you know, like a lot of mobility needed. Like how can I work on this stuff? So like But yeah, I love doing those. So I kind of stopped doing them as much because I necessarily didn't need to, just because I was busy.
Right.
And then the last year it's been kind of weird just because we're kind of transitioning to leave. But yeah, like I love doing that stuff. But then also one thing I started doing with Unrivaled was coaches clinics. So like we went over back pain. Like how can you guys be a little bit better of diagnosing that, changing things? Like do you guys have questions? Like making you that, because you're going to see these people a lot more than I will.
Right. You're going to see them every day. Ideally. Yeah.
So like I can't for everyone look at everyone's programming. Hey, you do this, that, and the other like every day. Like some people, if I'm seeing them a lot, we might do that. Like and I tell them that, like, hey, send me how many times a week are you gonna go to the gym this week? Which ones do you not want to do? Like let's look at it. Let's change things. But yeah, like doing these clinics are huge, and I will do a lot of that down in Florida, just because that's like the best marketing I can do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, again, I just think the knowledge sharing to help, because this is what I tell our members all the time. Like, I know that you don't feel like you're an athlete, but if you're in here and you're like working out, again, you're better than 99% of the people around the world. So like you need to be armed with all the possible things that you can do and have in your back pocket to keep you healthy and keep you moving. Because at the end of the day, that's why we're all here, right? Like I want to play with my kids. I want to have a long life. I want to feel good when I'm in my 50s and 60s. Like it makes a difference. And like, again, I just love that y'all do that. And I think that that's something I wish more, like, we'll say, scopes of health and fitness would do that inside gyms.
No doubt.
The unfortunate thing is the general population isn't moving, like people that are exercising. So they're not going to go into a PT. And that's kind of like, you just kind of stated one of the things I was going to ask them is how does PT help exercise and fitness? And I think that's it right there, is the knowledge you've provided me
Education's huge.
On moving and like what I can do to make it move better, strengthen this, because you're relying on this. And I think that's what PT can do. The type of PT you do.
Right.
So when you're going to the type of PT when just, Joe the plumber tweaks his back and he goes into PT. This guy works
different.
10 hours a day. He's not working out, and I'm not knocking on the guy. He just isn't a gym rat. He's doing his own thing. So he's just trying to move good enough to get back to work to pay his bills and have his life.
Right.
So it's a different type. But like, I wonder sometimes, do those PTs give them that knowledge, or are they just in there giving them their hour appointment and then like, hey, I need you to come back, because they know, like we talked about it. Look, I know you're not going to do the exercises I give you, so I need to see you in 2 days.
Yeah, for sure. And some people that are older, like on Medicare age, like that can do that because they don't have a copay. Like, dude, we're in there twice. Like I have a girl now who she literally came to me like 2 years ago because her bone density was too small to get a kidney transplant.
Wow.
I'm like, let's just get stronger. We have literally been exercising for 2 years, twice a week.
That's like, crazy, Colby. I didn't know that.
Has her bone density gone up?
So that, and then actually, gosh, who was it?
See, there is a such thing as big boned.
Oh, yeah.
Or little boned in her case.
I actually saw an elderly woman who tore her Achilles, found me through the grapevine of some people because I had torn mine. Her rehab was fine. Again, a lot lower standard of what she's getting back to, so she crushed it, was totally fine. She still sees me once a month because she just like really loved what we were doing, so we exercise. And she gets bone density scans. She's older. It's declined for the last 15 years. She came in like 2 weeks ago. And she's like,
it's been going up.
She's like, Colby, my bone density in my spine for the first time actually went up.
I would cry, Colby.
And I was like, whoa.
I got chill bumps.
Oh
my gosh.
That is badass.
That's awesome.
See, that's proof that working out and doing exercise can make you healthy.
And so this is funny too. So with her, so she doesn't have like workout equipment at home.
Right.
So we do a lot of stuff with bands. She came in a lot more frequently, but now we're like once a month. I bought her a pair of 20-pound dumbbells, sent it to her address. Like,
that's awesome.
I'm dead. That's so sweet.
What are we doing here? Like that's like, I'm changing that girl's life. She's probably gonna live longer because of like that little bit. Like absolutely doing that.
And you're the difference, Colby. Like you really are. Like I know that. Like I mean, people that get into the healthcare industry, the medical industry, like a lot of them, I don't know if they truly care. Like you actually truly care about that person's quality of life when they leave your office, and that's a huge difference maker in people.
That's a have to that you can't put in a GPA or a test score.
Like that's something you're never going to be able to test. You're absolutely right.
Like when it's a bad thing for me sometimes too. Like there's some people, especially like when I see friends and they're not better quickly. I'm like at the dinner table, like eating my chicken, like should I have given them this instead of that?
Oh my God,
Like,
have I done
hope they're
this?
feeling better tomorrow. Should I text
You're
them?
carrying that guilt.
Should I text them? Yeah.
It's
Should
like,
I text
they're
them?
like, maybe I shouldn't. Like, oh, okay, yeah. It's like, so sometimes it's a good thing. It's, and then there's some people, like, I don't know what it is about, like really active duty, like the SEALs I see, special warfare people I see,
Yeah.
like how much they do for us. Like, I don't know what it is. I just have like a really emotional connection to that.
Right.
Those people, when I do get a hold of them, like, I just feel like I want to give them like 4 hours of my day, like every single day.
You're like, how much time do you have?
Yeah, I was like, can we just like?
I wish
do
I
this,
could have
like,
seen you when I was on active duty.
yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Those
I just have
boats
and I've
beating
had
me to
some
death.
people. I've had some people recently that like, you know, they've been through it. Maybe they've seen chiropractor, ortho, like different people, and just maybe just have like let them down, and so they have no expectations. And I'm like, I want to make this person better so bad.
Yeah.
That it might like it frustrates me when they're like maybe they don't do the thing or
Yes.
they're not really bought in because they've seen 6 people that have not helped them. They have PTs on staff because they're part of SEAL team, whatever.
Right.
And they're coming to see me, and it's like so like that it can be a good thing and a bad thing, but like I will say like,
it's always a good thing.
If anything, like I would say it makes me different. Like I would definitely say there's better people that does everything I do, but like I want to see you get better so freaking bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I tell people that I was like, I'm on your team. Like I think of myself as like there's the guy in the car, NASCAR driving that wins the trophies.
But the
I'm
guys
that
on the team,
motherfucker
yeah.
filling your gas up, making sure that tire is right, and I want to be that so bad for you.
I am that crew chief, okay?
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for that, man.
yeah.
No,
Seriously,
really,
dude.
you do have like I mean, I don't know. We don't have too much more time. We'll talk about your next steps and kind of we can, I guess, in the future.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be traveling to Florida to see Colby. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
But like, I really can't tell you enough. Like, obviously, we were friends before I saw you as a PT. But like, when I go to people, like, kind of sidetrack, like onward, like, Logan and Kirsten came to talk to us about like maybe doing some stuff in the gym.
Yeah.
And like, when they asked me like who I would recommend, or like maybe some people that I've seen outside of you, and I'm like, I wouldn't recommend these people with my full heart to work inside this gym because I compare them to you.
Sure.
Like, and I appreciate what you do, and I like make sure that everyone knows if I'm sending someone to anyone that I trust you with my life. And like I will do whatever you tell me. You can tell me if I have to jump off the bridge up there, it would make me better. I would do it, Colby.
Yeah.
Like I would do it
appreciate that.
because you put your heart and you put your knowledge into it, and like that's what really matters. Like something I posted on the gym's page the other day was like, the members don't care how much you know. Like they don't care that you're coaching the movements. They care that you're coaching the person in front of you.
For sure.
And like
it's
being
huge.
able to have that type of like empathy, and like that ethos makes a difference, I think, in people's like success with seeing physical therapy. And you do that very well. I can't say that enough.
All right, let's talk about your next step. So you're leaving us here soon. What do you tell us what you're going to be doing,
It's
man?
like I can't believe it's actually here.
It's like 3 weeks
sad.
away.
Yeah.
So I'm moving to Tampa, Florida in 3 weeks. My wife is a salesman, so she sells acoustical products, and basically is
So
moving.
what's the company name? Shout out.
So K&W is like the big company. It's out of Ohio, and they basically they started in Ohio. They've moved like the whole northeast part of the country. They kind of moved west a little bit. Now we're going south. So they're starting their company up in Florida, and her and another guy basically spearheading that. So they'll be salesmen down there and doing that. So that's why we're moving. So that's been like a 2-year plan. So the last 2 years we've traveled to Florida probably at least 6 to 8 times, and just like scout the area, look, see where we want to live and whatnot. But yeah, so it's been a long plan. It's definitely bittersweet for a lot of reasons, because like how we started, like my bubble was 45 minutes for 30 years.
And now you're moving
and now
4
we're moving-
states, 5 states away, whatever it is.
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting. But so what I'm doing, I looked into some companies down there. There's just like, there is the big box PT, I can look at someone's website and be like, no. Like, you know, when it's like a picture of the person on the new step, which the new step is like the back supported bike where you're just like pedaling and your feet are barely moving.
Like that's not for me.
Like you could fall asleep on that thing. Like if that's like on your homepage, like that's not for me. There is some like cash-based people down there, in which what I would be, but a lot of them are solo people, so they're probably not hiring. So what I'm doing is opening up my own company. I was mopping up. Yeah,
he's welcome back anytime. Anytime.
Yeah. And then so Onward. So yeah, Kirsten and Logan here. So they started Onward. I think it'll be 2 years in August. So coming up on 2 years. Is this nationwide company? They're affiliated with this company called ICE. not that nice. Institute of Clinical Excellence, which is basically the best Con Ed courses out there for physical therapy in this space. Everything we've talked about, like they are the jam. So basically that company like branched off like, hey, like, you know, these people are taking these courses to be like fitness for PTs. Well, PTs can't do that in these facilities that have 15-pound kettlebells is the heaviest thing. Like, well, I guess we'll just do it ourselves. So they started opening up these onwards. So it is a franchise. So I'm opening up a franchise, and I could talk for an hour of like all the benefits of why I'm doing that.
Right.
But basically, it's because I'm getting on the team. Like I'm part of a team. I'm a team sport athlete. Like I'm with people that are like-minded, pushing the
same
profession
morals, same
forward.
thing. Yeah.
Like so. I was in it, you know, I had a foot in, and then last December I went to the All Onward Summit. Was basically like everyone that's an Onward employee or owner gets to go to this thing, and for 2 days we just like go over manual techniques, exercises, marketing stuff. We work out together, we go to dinner together.
I love that y'all work out together.
Yeah, which is like, that's the biggest thing. So every ice course we work out at the end of day one, which is huge.
Let's go.
So like, you know, we're not having, like if you don't work out as a PT, like what are you doing?
Yes, completely agree.
And so when I went to that, I was like, I have never been in a space with 30 other people that were so much like me. Everything we've talked about, like thinking the same direction. I'm like,
so you were sold.
These are my people.
Yeah.
Like, not that I'm going to work directly with them,
right?
But like, okay, if they're doing this, like, it makes sense for me to do this.
Right.
So kind of hopped on the train, like signed a contract with them. So I will open up Onward Tampa. I will have all of the region of that to like be me. No one else can open up an Onward down there. And that should be open sometime in August. So getting pretty close.
Are you going to be solo, or are you going to have another PT with you?
I'll be solo to start. I have a couple people in the works that are definitely interested. So like, but absolutely willing to hire people. And how I've said it just to them is like, I'm always hiring the right people, but I'm never hiring because I need to hire someone.
Right.
Like,
yes, and
so
Logan and Kirsten said the same thing, right? Like the person in the door matters. Again, especially if you're talking about that like personal vibe with people.
Yeah, like if you're like anti-CrossFit, you don't have to be a CrossFitter.
Right.
But if you're anti-CrossFit, like that's a big red flag. Like why? Like, do you think it's dangerous? Like, okay, like that's a conversation for another day because we don't mesh already.
Yeah.
Like, but that goes for everything: running, strongman, you know, anything in the gym sport, or you know, like we have to be fitness forward people, and that's because. I would say the best thing we have is education, but right behind that is exercise. Right. Then we have all the sexy stuff, dry needling, cupping, popping stuff, like all the cool stuff, you know.
All the fun stuff.
But absolutely, education is the best tool we have, and then exercise is number 2 for sure.
So what I'm hearing is that like I need to get tuned up right before Tampa Bay games. Can I be one of the first clients?
So absolutely, yeah. So well, absolutely, you guys are all coming down. So obviously, you know, we're housing you for free, but I would love to take some cool videos with some,
you know
some
what?
people.
I'll do whatever you ask me to do.
Hopefully the clinic. I mean, the clinic will be very close, if
up
not
and running
done by that point.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be sweet. So yeah, I mean,
I'm super
build out
proud
starting
of that.
now. So
He can tune you up on the floor. I've seen him dry needle people in the middle of a comp.
Yeah, dude. Let me get on you.
That's more the you know, like that's the maybe I could have gone to war in another life type of like. I'm just like, well, if we got to do it dirty, then we got to do it.
Ripping it open, tourniquet.
Which is funny too, because when bear fight, when I bothered my knee a little bit, I needled myself.
Yeah.
Oh my
in a
God.
He's
chair.
a savage. He was
I can't
like,
do that.
Dude, we can do a professional 5-star restaurant.
Yeah,
or we can do it on
McDonald's?
the side of a mountain too, brother. Like, well, I'm with you till the end. It doesn't
I
matter.
am your ride or die.
Yeah, so like, and, you know, what Onward is like, what is the difference? Like, you know, that's actually like how we compare it to, like, you know, if regular PT is, you know, Chipotle, it'll get the job done, but might give you some bubble guppies afterwards.
Yeah, I'll be getting them bubble guts.
You know, like Onward is the Lululemon of PT. Like, we want it to be as professional, as nice as possible, 5-star. Like, when you walk in, you feel like you're walking into like a very nice house and you feel like at home. So just a little bit different vibe.
I love that.
So it's like you're opening a franchise.
Yeah, it is a franchise.
And it'll be Colby's baby.
So I do have my own LLC. Like, you know, I control basically everything that happens there, but we do have this overhead of umbrella for a lot of support, but also like kind of a roadmap of like what works. Because they've been open now for 6 years. Like, you know, they have a good idea of like what works, what doesn't.
And that's what I was going to say is like the benefit of having something like a franchise, especially for something like physical therapy, is like they've done it before. They know what works. They've got the backing. They've got the tools. And obviously they're there to help you because it's super scary to open your own business, not having like any clue on how to do it, right? Like I felt that way with like thankfully I had Sam, but they're giving you a level of support that's going to really help you thrive, I think, like out of the gate.
So the alternative is to open up a PT clinic cash base by yourself, but you kind of have to be the face of the franchise. Like if
And
you're
you have to get your own insurance, you have to do all kinds of
for
stuff.
sure. But like if you're not cool, if you're not Instagram famous, like it doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is one, like you got to be like you have to be an influencer. Like that's a whole different
and that's
thing.
a whole different set of tools and a lot of time.
Just doesn't
like
work
it's not
too, for some
it's
people.
not easy to be an influencer.
No,
like I know it sounds stupid to say, but
and then too, like that defeats the purpose. Like when if you're going to see some special PT, like oh they're the guru, like they fix everyone. It's about them.
Yes.
Where like with Onward, it's about you.
Yes.
Like you are the hero of your story. Like I'm just there to help you.
You know what? That's going in the clip.
yeah.
You are the hero of your story.
I mean, that's really what it's about. Like, I don't want to feel like, oh, like Colby's just like something, he's like, no. Like, it's about you. What are your goals? Like, but how can I facilitate you to get to there?
And I mean, I think
you
you have a great personality. You have a great, like, again, just like you said, if you're not working out as a physical therapist, what are you doing? Because people will respect your opinion. They'll respect your opinion a lot more.
Oh, for sure.
And they'll trust you more, which is half the battle, I'm sure, with people who are very like weary of what's going to happen to them.
Yeah, and like one of the cliche things in our profession is like the riches are in the niches. So like, I'm a CrossFitter. If I go into a CrossFit gym, dropping in some gyms, like they're gonna see me. Oh, he does the thing. Oh, he's a PT too. Like that's my guy.
Yeah, he knows.
It's the same thing for everything else. There, run groups.
Right.
Weightlifting. If you're not a weightlifter, like there's gonna be some disconnect. Like, oh, you're a CrossFitter.
You're not
you do weightlifting,
right,
buddy? Yeah. Like there's a little bit of like a entry barrier if you don't do the thing.
Yeah.
But if you at least exercise, like you can kind of dip into everywhere.
Right.
Or if you don't exercise, like dude, we're not even the same people.
Right.
Like we can't even talk.
We're not gonna have the same conversation.
Yeah. You're gonna tell me like strength training is dangerous for my knees. Like what are we talking about here?
Remember they used to say your knees shouldn't go past your toes in squatting? Like whoa.
And a lot of people still believe. Like that still comes in every now and again.
I had a doctor tell me, well, you shouldn't squat below parallel.
And there's still some like, unfortunately, like guru PTs or chiropractors or rehab specialists, whatever, out there that will kind of pigeonhole themselves. And that's what you have to do. You have to pigeonhole yourself into like some odd theory, and that's everything you do. Where like we're gonna use everything. Like we're gonna take everything that's good, research back. Let's do it all.
Yeah.
And there might be times when we don't want to put the knee past the toe, but like, should you be able to? Absolutely. Yeah. You can't.
That's a great point. Yeah.
So like,
prove to me why you can't.
I agree. Yeah.
Because the human body should move like this.
Yeah, for sure.
If you watch a little baby squat, the knees are going past their toes. They look better than all of us.
Your car just doesn't blow out when you're 10 years old. Like, it doesn't happen.
They're going ass to grass.
Yeah, like there's
remember them out of the box knees.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
There's a reason for all that. So,
is it scary? Thinking about opening up your own place?
So yes and no. I think like for me, it's like I've like going from a decent income to no income is like the worry.
Yeah.
Very fortunately, Erin has a great job, and like her company is moving us down, like giving us a great opportunity where if I don't make money right away, it's fine.
You're going to be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about like the thing though, because what I've done with direct performance for years now is the shoulder clinics, the back clinics, injury screens, like
how to get your foot in the door.
Yeah, like I do all that now.
That's
so like,
great.
sweet.
Yeah.
How many
reps? CrossFit gyms are within like a 20 or 30
I bet
minutes?
it's so
there's
many.
9 CrossFit gyms within 20 minutes. There's like 30 in like the Tampa Bay
greater area. Yeah.
But like, comparing that to here, like I would say there's double the amount of gyms in the area. Like,
so are you gonna kind of like start pushing yourself those clinics to all of them?
Yes and no. So long-term goal, 10-year plan is my first location is going to be in between Tampa City and Clearwater, West Chase, which is like a little in between city, a little bit smaller of a city population-wise, but just makes a lot of sense. School district, family stuff, like it just makes sense for us to live there.
Right.
But 10-year plan is to have a clinic there, downtown Tampa, St. Petersburg, Brandon, Riverview area, down the Horn,
taking
over the whole area code for sure. Like that'd be the goal, because again, too, going back to that guru cash-based PT, if they don't see people, they make no money. Like it's got to be them. If they take a 2-week vacation, you're losing money because you're paying rent. Where my long-term goal is like, and this is another appreciation of like, I like the mentorship side of PT as well. Like I do want to have hopefully a crew of 6 to 12 PTs. I am treating people still because I think doing the thing is super important.
Yeah.
But I'm also more
Can't put a price on that.
Yeah, like mentoring a lot too, where like we have this little empire of a solid freaking group, and the Tampa Bay area is having the best PT you can offer in that area. So that's the long-term goal for sure.
Dude, could you imagine if you like expanded so much you start working with like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and
So,
the hockey team?
So that sounds so sexy, right?
Yeah.
It does sound sexy,
Probably
yeah.
not as fun as it sounds.
So
though.
professional athletes
Are the worst? Tell us the
aren't
truth.
the worst, but like it's all about them, right? But again, they're making
Right.
millions of dollars. So
Right.
like, are they going to go 20 minutes down the street to see you at 7 a.m. and show up at 7 a.m. or,
Nah,
or
fam.
1? Like,
You're going to their house.
yeah. So like that's it sounds so sexy, but like to see those people look super cool on Instagram and like so I treated some games athletes a couple years ago.
Right.
Like that was super cool, but like to see the people in a gym where like I'm seeing like that mom of kids or I'm seeing like some like way cooler.
Yeah.
Way cooler to
Yeah.
see those people get back to fitness and
Right.
like be people that like I can really relate to because you're not going to relate to that professional athlete. Like they're just
No.
not your people. You're not going to hang out with
No.
them. Like I want to see people that like I'll go hang out with at a brewery on a
Yeah.
weekend. Like you can have a great conversation with.
That's
way
so cool.
cooler. Way cooler.
Yeah, I get
The
that
good-
because
the
I
good
correlate that
meals.
too. I feel more satisfied getting that soccer mom her first pull up
Yeah.
Yes.
versus somebody
Yes.
that's a savage in here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
getting I don't know.
It's so true.
Yeah, like
It just because it
PR
feels
in
like
their
it
snatch.
means more to
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah,
it
it
just
does.
feels more emotional for them.
Yeah, and like when they get better, they're so appreciative of what you've done.
Yes. When
Where
a
that
professional, they
athlete is-
expect it.
They expect it. And it's
Yeah.
not like today. It's like, what the hell? Dude?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you suck. Like,
I
I'm
bet
going
that
someone
it
else.
is.
Plus, they're just getting back to where they were.
Right,
It's not like
right.
it's something new.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
a
big
good
thing
point,
too. Like
yeah.
getting back to baseline is how that person got there. Like, I don't want to get you back to baseline. I want to get you further,
Better.
Yeah.
so you don't have this freaking shoulder injury in 6 months again. Like if you
Right.
come in here with a knee, I don't love it, but it's okay.
I'll
Yeah.
try. I'll do my best.
yeah. But if you come in here with that same shoulder injury every 6 months, like okay, what are we doing?
Something's wrong.
Like
yeah.
that's not it. But yeah, for a professional athlete though, you're really you're managing fires. Like they're doing their training, they're doing their thing. Like you just are putting out the fire, which is fine.
more reactive than
Yeah, which is fine.
But
It's,
if
you know, it's
Baker
PTs.
Mayfield says, "Come dry noodle me for
we're
500
definitely
bucks,"
hooking up.
Brother, I'm there.
Oh, we're putting the camera on. We're doing everything. Yeah. So yeah, don't get me wrong. That wouldn't be like I wouldn't shy away from it. But the same
Yeah.
reason I'm not like gonna hunt after those guys is the same reason I'm not gonna like hunt to market to orthopedic surgeons.
Right.
Like I
right.
don't want to have this pipeline through them necessarily. I'd love to have some good referrals
Yeah.
for those people that you need surgery. But like I'm not going to be sitting there going to doctor's office like, hey, do you mind if I do a lunch learn for a doctor? Because I've done those.
Yeah.
I've had some bad experiences.
So it's kind of going to be the same thing as you working out at Unrivaled. People know you're a PT.
Yeah.
Conversations start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come see me, and you just word of
Word
mouth.
of mouth is
Yeah.
your best
For sure.
resource.
For sure. Yeah.
And then you can kind of start reaching out, do a clinic there, and then
Yeah.
maybe go
Yeah.
to the next CrossFit
Yeah, and
gym.
the overall goal is like, I'm going to have my home gym of CrossFit West Chase, shout out. But I'm going to be
Hell yeah.
going there every day.
Right.
So like that'll be a lot of touch points, but I will drop into other gyms frequently, set up stuff there. Like me personally, I want to have 2 to 3 gyms where like, those are kind of my people. That's going to fill
Right.
me up.
Yeah, kind of like here with Unrivaled, maybe some other places.
And like I
yeah.
dip into Krypton a little bit,
Yeah,
but not
yeah,
there as
yeah.
often, but they kind
Yeah.
of know me. Like, I've been here, so like I have better word of mouth. Like I've done competitions with people at Krypton, so like
Right.
I've had some touch points.
Right.
So like, yeah, building the same thing, and it took 2-3 years here to do that. It's going to take the same amount of time down there.
Absolutely.
But then the same thing if I hire on someone, hey, they do a little bit more run stuff. They go to a run club. They might have one CrossFit gym that's not the 3 that I go to as much.
Right,
And they're
right.
going to build their same thing.
You're going to build their clientele just the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't need 500 new people. I need like 200 people that like are kind of my people. I want to take care of those
right.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those people are going to cycle in and out.
Yeah,
So
just
you're
two
looking
things,
just to
yeah.
make, like I like to say, a self-licking ice cream cone.
Yeah.
It's just gonna.
Heck yeah,
It's just
yeah.
gonna. One
Yeah.
person gets
It'll
fixed. That
keep
person
spinning,
says, "Hey,
it'll keep-
go
yep.
see my guy."
Yeah, because at that point, you come in for an eval. I've seen you so many times. I've seen you in the gym. Like, we cut out all the beginning conversation.
Yep.
It's the shoulder. Like,
We're
dude,
getting
look,
right to the meat
we
of
talk
it.
about football for 10 minutes
Yep.
instead of like who you are.
Yeah.
And then we get to the elbow. Like,
Yeah.
That's why I love my
that's
appointments.
fun.
We catch up for a minute.
Yeah.
talk
Yeah,
it's
about,
fun, yeah.
And then like he's
Well,
we get to
again,
work.
because you feel like he's a part of your team.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah, yeah.
your friend, that's your team. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just like a means to an end.
Yeah.
Right, and you look forward to that, hopefully. Compared to
Hell yeah.
like the orthopedic surgeon, it's like I'm sitting. In the waiting
I'm
room,
nervous.
I'm on my phone for 45 minutes. I'm
Yes.
nervous. I go in there. I forgot the 3 questions that I wanted to ask. Like
Yes.
shit, like it's stressful.
It is stressful.
I want to be so far away from that it's just not comparable.
Dude, it's gonna be so scary, but it's just so freaking rewarding.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it is
yeah, for
the
sure.
most.
I mean, yeah,
I
you've
can't
done
tell
it.
you.
It's
yeah.
different, but you've done it.
I mean,
you're doing it.
I know I just joked around. I'm like, I'll never be able to take a salary, but like, it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
our
yeah.
comments box, right? Like we posted that on our
Yeah, I
Facebook
like
this
that.
week. Like when someone writes in the comments box that they've been struggling mentally,
Yeah, it's
and like
huge.
it our community, like your help, your
Yeah,
community,
yeah.
your belief in them got them over whatever X, Y, and Z hump.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can
Yeah.
run through brick walls. Like, that's
Yeah.
just what it's all about. And again, you're the person that cares about that. So you're going to be successful. And if you need me to drop in down there to get some clientele, I'll be there.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. So we're doing Tampa Bay games. I got a shirt coming,
Hey.
like an athlete shirt. So like everyone's getting one. And then just
Face paint.
out of nowhere, it's like, who the hell is this Auburn
Yeah,
people? 'Cause
exactly.
you guys are gonna be crushing in RX.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
we're gonna be crushing in intermediate. We'll talk about that later. But yeah,
Putting a
so
lot of
we're gonna have
pressure on us.
Wait, who's
we're gonna
doing
have people.
intermediate?
Us.
Oh.
So it's me, Lauren, Clay, and Aaron doing
Oh, nice.
intermediate. Yeah. It's
Oh,
like at the time we signed up, like I did not think I would be where I am now currently fitness wise. I
Right.
thought I'd be
I
pretty
thought
like
you looked at me when you said, I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Wait,
Yeah, you're in.
you're in. Yeah, we're tapping in.
Okay.
So we signed up for intermediate. We probably should have done RX, but I think it makes sense. Like, You'll
have more fun that way, man.
It's be
Yeah,
super
and it's
chill.
just for fun,
Super
yeah.
stress, like
Yeah.
low stress. So yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a
I
good time.
can't wait to rep the brand. Hey, you just tell me what you want me to say. I will get in people's faces.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hey,
You picked
just
the
gotta
wrong
be
people
fit.
on your team if you thought you were just gonna have fun.
I know. We were talking about it today. I was like,
right.
I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That'll be good.
It'd be good. I'm excited. Like, I mean, it's all indoors, so like, it's going to be a good climate. Like,
Yeah.
So it's an expo too, which is super interesting. I don't know if we
okay.
talked about that.
No, I didn't know that.
It's kind of overstimulating, but the Tampa Bay Games is CrossFit, strongman, bodybuilding, weightlifting, jiu-jitsu. Like,
Oh, is this where Alvin
everything.
got the idea?
So no. It's his own
Similar,
idea, but
yeah.
I told him about this, and he might fly down.
Oh.
And I was like, well,
just to get some eyes on it.
yeah, just to get some eyes on it, maybe talk to some people. But
That's
it's a
crazy.
wild event. So like, it has everything that's not a ball sport is
Honestly,
going on.
that'll be cool though. Like
So cool,
We
yeah.
did semifinals a couple years ago, and at the same time they were having an Olympic weightlifting meet.
Yeah, something
and it
to
was
watch.
kind of chill to like
Yeah.
really see like another sport in action. Which again, great for you. Hey,
Yeah.
I'll wash my shirt after we wear it for the comp, and I'm gonna walk around the next
Unfortunately,
day.
you got to wash. Wear that shirt all day.
We're not giving you two because we don't have the money right now.
Like, yeah, with CrossFit competitions too, like you do the workout and you watch every other heat do the same friggin' thing. It's
Yeah.
like no, you can watch like
You can watch some
wild
strongman.
stuff. Like,
That's cool.
Go watch some like 12-year-olds like do some jujitsu, or like and then go watch some like bodybuilding show. Like, it's just like crazy.
That's interesting. I had no idea.
Overstimulating.
It is, though.
Because it's kind of like some dips in a cross competition that
Yeah.
kind of goes up and down like
Yeah.
a way. Like it's just fully packed. Like something's going on the whole time. So like we dropped in there last year or 2 years ago, and like it's just so much going on. Like Kellen's down there with Wild South. He'll be again there this year.
Oh, nice.
So like there's all the vendors too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of touch points. So it's just a really cool event.
Hey, get some stickers, all right? Go to Sticker Mule, get some stickers, and
Yeah.
I will put them on random people's
Yeah, just
shit.
start.
Oh, my water bottle has an onward
Yeah,
sticker.
yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
put that there.
What's on my forehead?
Was it me?
So next year for sure signing up to do a booth there, to offer some
Yeah.
stuff. Be doing a ton of that, over the years and whatnot.
Hey,
but,
are
yeah.
you guys gonna put it? Well, I guess Kirsten and Logan will have a booth at Trident Games.
Yeah.
So we'll tell
I
people,
I'm hoping to come back for that for sure.
Celeb
I think
entry?
me and Alex might try to sign up for it.
Please do. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it should be good.
That'll be good.
But yeah, Kirsten and Logan are great. I mean, they've definitely like helped me through this process as well.
Yeah.
Like just answering a lot of questions too, and like I've gone and seen them several times at this point too. Just so like, what does it look like from the other side of things
Yeah.
too? Just like kind of get that perspective on it. And then they're great. So I mean, it's good stuff.
I'm
so.
excited. It'll be all good stuff. I can't wait to okay, when you come back for Trident Games, you'll have been operational
Yeah, a
for
couple
hopefully
months.
2 months.
Yeah.
We gotta do a podcast.
Yeah,
Do it
yeah.
again.
Let's catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an
Oh my
update?
gosh.
Yeah, hopefully I've seen at least one person mowing.
Well, you're gonna tune me up, so you're gonna have seen me.
Right.
Walking with a box, a bunch of dry needles. All right, guys, line it up. Line it up.
No,
I
it
can't
should be
wait to
good.
hear about it.
Yeah.
It'll be so
It's
great.
the hardest thing I've ever done, but definitely like I don't feel like I've been prepared for anything as well as this than I've ever done as
How
well.
old are you now?
30.
Dude, that's ballsy. At your
That's
age,
exciting.
to do something like this,
Yeah.
and that's incredible, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna
You're
do
gonna
good,
do
dude.
fine. The hardest thing you've ever done is be a parent. Let's be real.
And how I parent, pretty
Yeah,
pretty chill, pretty
yeah.
chill.
Maybe
Pretty chill.
not.
I'm raising a wild animal. His name is Steel.
Yeah. Well, you did
I
that to
love
yourself
it.
when you named
Oh,
him.
I
for
was gonna
sure.
say, yeah, he's
I don't know how I
living
got
up.
away with that. I mean, so Steel is a name I just knew a guy named Steel. Like, that's a badass name. Like I'm stealing that. And then his middle name's Evander, after Evander Holyfield, the boxer. So like I'm just like I created like a Marvel
monster.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's either
So-
going to be a savage athlete or like a painter. Like it's it's not gonna match at all.
A Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever.
It's just happy.
As long as
happy
he's great.
accident.
No,
as he's
he will
great.
be. I love watching him. You guys do a great job with your kids, and you're like obviously Erin's starting her own thing, like with the help of her company. Yours,
I mean, it's
like
huge,
it's exciting
huge
for y'all as a
opportunity.
family. Like I can't wait to. You're gonna be successful, and
Erin's
you're always gonna have
opportunity.
us. Like we will 1,000%. You need us on the plane, we'll be there. Like you got a great support team.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like what we're really doing is just creating y'all's guys' vacation home.
Hey.
Like, what are we talking about here? Like, we got all the spots. Like, like just another place to visit.
That's right.
that
That's right.
You got free
Where you
stay.
feel at home.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, like
we're gonna
that's
get down there to your house. I need like a calendar so we can start filling in our dates. We're gonna be here.
Like a timeshare.
Timeshare. Well, we want this weekend.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah,
We're not even gonna be there. Don't care.
Yeah.
You're already spending Sam's money to go to Tampa.
Dude,
yeah.
because I'm not making any money.
That's probably cheaper than some other things we do.
Yeah.
So like a flight to Tampa is like
The
$100.
flight- yeah, it's
Yeah,
so
what are we
cheap.
talking about?
Yeah.
That's a
very
Mexican
true.
dinner right
Yeah.
there.
Breeze Airlines. Yeah.
That was my dinner with Sam and I Thursday night.
Yeah,
It's
what is
so
that? Yeah.
true.
Everything's expensive.
Stays free. Like it's easy money.
I'm excited. I can't wait to hear about it. Hey, we're putting that on the books. You're coming back for Trident.
Yeah,
we're doing a follow-up to see how it's going. That'd be really cool.
Mid-comp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that Saturday night.
Yeah. Saturday or like in the middle
Oh,
of
in the
it.
middle
I just
comp,
won't
yeah.
even. Yeah, I'm like.
Just came off the workout
damn, we
floor.
can't. We can't. Both of us can't be gone. So we'll have to do something else.
That night,
That's
like
fine,
right
yeah,
after.
yeah.
like
Yeah, we
Saturday.
can get a couple margs in us and
That'd be
Comp
good.
report. Ooh, yeah.
right.
And Christian.
Christian. Oh, okay, that'd be even better.
Oh hell yeah, that's
Well,
great.
I'm excited, Colby. I'm glad that you got to sit down and talk with us. We've been wanting to get you on the podcast for a while.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say that too. So like, I love this too because like, I would say a bucket list thing for me is to be on a podcast. Like, I don't care if
Yes.
it was anyone. Like I just think
Okay.
I think so I listen to. I mean, I'm a big podcast guy. Like
Yeah, you
I don't,
do,
I don't
you
listen
do.
to music in the car. 'cause
No. You're
I'm
always sharing a
silent.
podcast.
Yeah, so like I listen to. I mean, I would probably say I have like a top 6, but like. I'm a big podcast guy. So like to be on one
What's
is
your
just
3
so
favorite?
freaking cool.
Oh my
My 3
gosh.
favorite podcasts. Ooh, I mean, so Joe Rogan is definitely. I mean,
He's the man.
fun. Yeah.
It's the best
He's the
podcast
OG of
ever.
podcasts, yeah.
And I don't listen to all of them. When he's got
Yeah.
his comedian buddies on there and they're shooting the shit, like
Yeah.
I don't
It's
really
fun.
care.
Yeah,
selective.
But when he's got some like molecular biologist on
Yeah.
there or someone
Or
When he
from,
has
Gary
like,
Huberman,
Brecka,
yeah.
like
some
Huberman,
crazy
yeah.
people, like it's super, or just like a celebrity. I know, like, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with him? He had Hulk Hogan on not that long ago. It's like that's cool. Like, what's he
Yeah.
got to talk about? So I would say like my favorite. Joe Rogan for sure, and then Ice Clinical Excellence podcast is like the best PT
Which one?
podcast. It's called Ice.
Okay.
So
the
like,
program that one works through. Yeah. Another
So, like,
shout out.
So they have like these 20-minute clips every single day. Like 3 days a week are like stuff that I really look at. The other 2 days don't really apply to me as much. So I listen to pretty much all of those. After that, my favorite one is probably Modern Wisdom. I don't know if you heard of that. So it's kind of like a Joe Rogan type thing where he just
Yeah.
has like guests on. They talk about crazy stuff. Like, but he has some really interesting guests on.
Modern Wisdom.
Super good one.
Dang, I dropped my pen. Let me write it down.
That's probably my top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones I listen to the most. They're all. So Joe Rogan and Modern Wisdom probably run hour to 2. So sometimes it's going to take a week to get through that at some point. But then Ice is 20 minutes, so I knock those out on the car ride.
That's a morning drive right there.
Yeah, then I mean I definitely have some other favorites that are more like PT related. Like Jake Tura is a big tendon rehab guy. So he has the Jacked Athlete podcast. That's his name of it. So
Athlete?
so
All right,
good.
I'm gonna
I
look
need
for
to
that
watch
So
one.
that.
good, yeah. And he goes over like so much cool stuff. So definitely a good resource. I was into the Nick Bear podcast for a bit.
a while, yeah.
He kind of started just to like talk about himself too much. I'm like, I kind of like knew. I'm like, dude, I know who you are. Like,
It's
so-
kind of weird.
Yeah, he didn't have good guests on. And then Cameron Haynes will have a podcast.
Cameron
I'm a
Haynes
big
is cool to
fan.
listen to.
He just doesn't do a ton of them.
That's for your funsies.
That's like it depends on the guest. Like he'll have some UFC fighters on sometimes. Like what are they talking about? And he does this thing. So have you ever heard of the lift, run, shoot?
Yeah.
So he does this like event where he has like, so you have a guest come in.
Yeah.
You lift with him, you shoot bows with him, and you do a podcast with him over a weekend. It's like a thing he does.
You have to do all 3.
You have to do all 3.
All right.
And one of the things he does on the lift is you carry this stone up this mountain
Oh,
to this point.
okay. I've seen this.
And
yeah.
you don't have to do it, but you're a pussy if you don't. So you do it. So he's had some really cool guests on there, and he's just like such a hardcore dude. And he's a bow hunter, so he's a big fan or whatever. So he has some really cool guests on as well. He just doesn't do one like every day or every week, so it's like pretty sporadic.
Hard to,
So yeah, that's definitely probably my top 5 that I listen to.
That's sweet.
Joe does one every day, so
I
like,
can't
there's
believe
just
you
no
think
way.
we're a cool podcast.
Oh, this is so cool. Yeah.
We made it big.
Yeah, no doubt.
I
You
wish.
done? Dude, thank you. you for being in the background of this podcast.
Hey, why aren't you at Nationals this weekend?
Yeah.
Even bigger problems. So.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hey, good luck to you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats.
Are you in the area for any longer? Just today and tomorrow?
I don't know. I may stay for a minute.
Hey, if you want to come in at any time, my number's the number on the website. Just shoot me a text. Yeah, just say Colby, I came in Saturday. Like, I'll give you all the space you need.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah,
awesome,
man.
dude.
Good
Yeah.
luck to you, bud.
What weight class are you in? Yeah, kilos. 110. Okay. I have to look out for you.
Dude, yeah, for real. That was awesome. Yeah. Again, make yourself right at home. If you stay around, I want to watch you lift again. I'll just sit back and watch.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
incredible.
Gotta get a crowd for the Pan Am
Yeah.
replication of the
Hey,
environment.
we'll make it like
Put
a
some
real
lights
meet.
on here. Yeah.
Yeah.
The people in our gym will be impressed. So.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible. Good luck to you.
Okay, yeah.
We'll see
Hi,
you.
buddy.
Have a good day.
Now I'm gonna have to watch him on the internet.
Dude, I'm gonna have to follow that guy.
The great thing is he's gonna be on the internet at Pan Am.
Yeah,
so.
at Pan Am.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty freaking cool
Yeah.
that he's here.
You know what's funny though? I think I've seen him on a weightlifting page.
I wanted to say that.
Like on hook grip or something,
Something
like a
like
clip.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because-
What's his last? You know his last name? I can
Well,
look
he's
him
on
up
the
though.
waiver. Hold on. You know, you guys keep talking. I'll look at the waiver.
Yeah.
So podcast mine are Joe Rogan number one
For
because
sure.
he's the OG, but I'm selective too. Like I don't need to listen
Not
to
all
some of them are
yeah.
just
Yeah.
like,
They're just
Colby
talking shit.
and I even
Ferguson.
listen to people that I'm not fans of because I'm interested.
Sure, yeah,
like I
there's
was
some interesting
listening.
people.
Like, I don't hate or like, it doesn't matter, but I'm listening to the Bernie Sanders one just because
Sure.
I want to
Oh,
hear
yeah,
what they
yeah,
talk
political-
about.
political figures, yeah,
I wanna
I'll
hear,
hit those.
especially when it's opposing views to me because I like to learn where somebody's coming from.
Well, that's the thing too. Joe's so good at being like, you know, he has his views,
Yeah.
but like he's probably one of the best interviewers
Yeah,
of all
because he
time.
can be so unbiased.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
he
he's just
listens.
learning.
Yeah.
I wanna learn.
Yeah, and he asks the questions. He'll be like, "What does that mean?"
Yeah.
You know, explain that further.
Okay, we've definitely seen him, guys.
Yeah, he was at the meet with Matty Rogers and
This
everything.
is crazy.
It's like we just had Denzel Washington in
I
here.
am
We didn't know
blown
who it was.
away. I wish I would have gotten a picture.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! Yeah.
Look at this.
So Rich Froning just walked in. And we didn't take a picture of him
We
as a
didn't-
CrossFitter. Yeah, that's where I saw it. That's it. So he was at the camp. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Send me the links so I can put some clips in the podcast.
Please.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you his Instagram, too.
Yeah.
Damn.
So,
I wonder why it looks so familiar.
Yeah.
and then it's not as well known, but his numbers, a lot of people watch is the Sean Ryan podcast.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
that's
gonna say
another
Sean
one.
Ryan's
He's
a
good,
good one.
man.
Yeah.
And he just keeps getting better.
Yeah,
And
I would say that's definitely what I peek in with.
Yeah.
I do feel overwhelmed with his though. Like I'm like they're talking about stuff. I'm just like, what the fuck are
Okay,
they
this
talking
is where
about?
I saw him. Dozer's page.
yeah.
That's where I
saw
saw
this
it,
video.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's got to be it. I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
seen it.
But yeah, they'll get into some stuff. I'm just like, I have no idea
Sean
what they're talking
Ryan's
about.
those are so long.
They
I
are.
feel
Yeah,
like.
that-
I'm not.
that-
You've
they
lost
scare
me
the-
at 3
they
hours.
scare the shit
I
out of
listen
me,
to
too.
them.
Yes,
I
they
listen
Some
to
of the
them.
time they talk about like,
Yeah.
excuse
I
me.
typically listen to them in
like, I would rather
segments,
not
and you
hear
start
it.
getting riled up and get angry
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
usually listen to those in segments. Like if I'm at
Yeah,
work,
yeah.
I put it going for like an
Yeah.
hour.
Sure.
But I
A
little
like
bit
to
here,
watch
a little
them-
bit there.
I do like to watch those podcasts in the YouTube format.
Like,
Because I
just
like
see
to
it.
see the
them.
face.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
see
I
I
who's
definitely
talking.
agree with that. Yeah. I'll put it up on the car, like so I can just like peek into the facial expressions
Yeah.
when they say something like you know like interesting.
never.
Those are really the only two I regularly listen to.
Yeah,
There,
Sean Ryan's
there was
will
a
be up there.
goofy one I used to listen to was the Drinkin' Bros podcast.
Yeah.
It's mostly the guys that started Black Rifle Coffee.
Oh sure.
Oh, okay.
And they just do a bunch of goofy stuff, but like
Yeah.
they get a little weird, and some of them have changed in directions on what they talk about. So I kind of swayed away from it. It's still a good podcast.
Yeah,
The
sure.
format's good.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
they do is
It's only
good.
so many times
Yeah.
a day
And
too,
obviously, you
yeah.
listen to the All Grit podcast when we
Of
post.
course.
I have, yeah, I've
You know,
listened to all
I've
of them,
never
yeah.
actually listened to an entire podcast that we've created.
Really?
Well, you lived it, so
Yeah.
I listen back sometimes. I listen to the whole. I've only listened to a handful of them in their entirety.
Yeah, I listen
like,
to
I need to
segments.
know.
Like once I know the beginning, once I do the first edit.
Yeah.
As long as the lighting's good and the sound is good.
Yeah, just let it
I
run.
just run it and I process it and send it to you for approval,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
takes way too long.
Hey, it won't this time. I promise. Scout's honor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
right.
get it edited
Less
tomorrow.
co- less-
'cause I don't-
less busy.
I don't get
Yeah.
to work from home
Yeah.
anymore, so I gotta
Ooh,
get it
yeah.
done tomorrow.
I tell you
RIP.
what, I thought I would be less busy after Syndicate, and I feel like it's just all piled on top.
I mean,
Don't procrastinate.
as people, you're always going to be
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's one of the things. Like
true.
going back to like all that thing we talked about, like oh, I'm too busy. Like you're always going to be too
You're all,
busy.
yeah, it's what you make time
Yeah,
for.
you just gotta
do it.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
so true.
It's just
Gotta do
not
it.
going to happen. Like unless you're like 25, single, no kids, no dog.
Yeah.
You have time.
You
then.
have time, yeah.
Yeah, don't have a business.
Right.
Like,
Yep,
you
yep.
just work. Like, you might have time.
You might
Maybe.
have time.
Like I still have to go to Lowe's and then I have to fix a C2 bike today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Things to do.
help a sister out, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Thanks.
This is a community effort here at All Grit.
Yeah. I have to fix things. It's in my nature.
I
Something's
love it.
broken.
Someone-
Someone's
I'm
got
not
to.
fixing
Yeah,
it.
I
someone's
fixed the
got
garage
to.
door
Yeah.
one day. I'm
Yeah.
like, I can fix that.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's like $1,000.
And Sam's
savings.
too
Yeah.
busy to help me like
Yeah.
on the reg.
Oh,
Like
yeah, regularly,
so
yeah.
it's nice that we have people like Chris that can help.
It's just in my nature. I see something broken. I'm like, I can fix that.
With people
What
too.
I do.
That's awesome.
With people.
That's awesome.
Like,
love
and
it.
I can't fix that. Go see Colby.
Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna see a shrink.
Or see a shrink.
Oh man, it's
right.
a good podcast.
Let's wrap it
You're
up.
only a little bit
So,
behind.
man, thanks for doing this with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Thanks
a
for
long time
inviting.
coming to get
This
you
will be a
on
good
here.
send off.
Man, you're going to be missed.
Yeah.
You're a great dude to be around, great dude to work out with, compete with, against, all that stuff. You've been supportive of so many people. Thanks
Yes.
for everything, man.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm
I think
excited.
you're going to kill it, man.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
excited
we'll
for the
find out.
chance, but I'm sad that you're not going to be
Yeah.
here. Like, not going to be hours.
I almost get a little emotional about it, truthfully, man.
Yeah.
You've done a lot for a lot of people, man. I think you're just going to continue, and you're just going to get bigger and bigger, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And if you need to start your own podcast, I can show you how to do it. Yeah.
Now we're talking.
I'll fly down there. We'll do one.
Talk about like a dream.
Hey,
I
man.
cannot. That just blows my mind, Colby.
I would
just
hop
love
on a
it.
plane
Yeah.
and come
Just
down
love
there and
it.
do a podcast with you, man.
Well,
That's-
hey,
I
we
would,
could
in
do
a
one at
heartbeat.
Tampa
Oh,
Bay
for
games.
sure.
You're
Yeah.
going to be there too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
All right, you know, we'll get it
Gotta
lined
figure that
up.
out today.
We could do a quick one and just walk through the facility.
Yeah.
We could do something like that.
Definitely do
Yeah.
that.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Make some content.
Yeah,
yeah.
let's
Talking.
make some content. We'll bring the little clip-on mics, not these.
I'll have
but
one. I'll have a mic. So
okay, I'm in.
we can crack some stuff too and make that sound sick.
Yeah, like all the things you see on your feed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's good
All right.
stuff.
All right, let's go.
But hey, stay gritty.
Let's go.
Is that the exit? Because
Sign
that's still a
off.
sign
We're
off.
out.
Yeah.